deceiving me. Cuts my security high. Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is a show with no purpose.
There really isn't any purpose tonight for sure. We're just going to talk about our belly button lint.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be fun. You guys know what we're talking about.
No, we're going to talk movies and all sorts of fun stuff. Mainly, we're going to talk about how Ed and Lorraine Warren may or may not be completely full of shit.
Yeah, I read the article. Actually, I did a little deep diving on not just the article that you sent me. I looked up some of the other guy. There's a lot of bastards involved with this lawsuit, dude. That Tony DeRosa guy was a big bitch. And then that Brittle guy is a huge bitch, too. And then, I don't know. It's interesting stuff, though. I mean, it's fun to talk about it. Yeah, and then I did get my first shot yesterday.
I forgot to ask, how are you feeling?
Well, my arm's a little sore. It's weird, dude. I mean, she didn't jab it in there or anything like that. Like I owed her money, like she was like shanking it. But it's still, she was like, and I was like, oh, and she's like, which side do you sleep on? I was like, I said I sleep on my right side, but I lied. I actually sleep on my left side, but it was too late. It was already in my skin. I was like, oh shit.
Crawling in my skin.
Then she was like, well, you got to hang around for 15, 20 minutes just to make sure you're good. She's like, you can go shop around, whatever you want. I was like, I'm in Walgreens. All right. But you know, I didn't think there was anything, but we wound up buying like a baby Yoda pillow. I was like, it makes me feel better.
There you go. That. Yeah, I went to when I got my shot done back when they were having like the military doing the shit. You couldn't go to Walgreens, and like they had a bunch of military dudes around, and they said they had the same thing, but it was like a big like corporate structure. So I didn't get to shop. I just had to sit in a chair, like a folded chair, with a bunch of old people.
Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, there was nobody there, so I mean, I was in and out really quick. But dude, it sucked because I called because they have like an automated line where you call and you make your appointment for Walgreens. And so they weren't giving them on Memorial Day. Obviously, I don't know why. Well, you could still walk into Walmart and get one, but I called them. Huh?
It's easy to remember if you get it on Memorial Day when you got it.
That's true. It's a memory day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I did was I called back and then I set up and I talked to an actual agent, and then she was like asking all the questions and stuff and yada, yada, yada. And then I get there and they're like, oh, did you not fill out any paperwork? I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yes, I did. I talked to some lady, some really nice lady that was probably from Rhode Island for like 20 minutes about it. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. I don't know where your records are. What's your name? Dude, I was like, oh my God. So I thought I'd be here for an hour trying to figure this shit out. And they're like, but they rushed that shit through. I was like, I was like, you guys are giving me a goddamn gazebo, aren't you? Not a placebo, a goddamn gazebo.
You're implanting me with a small wooden structure.
Dude, it's crazy though. The whole, and again, you know, if you want to get the vaccine or if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's your business. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm not gonna yell at you either way. Okay, you still be my friend. But I saw a video today on YouTube, and it's, dude, some people just are going, what? Fucking crazy.
I know.
There was a dad talking to his daughter. She was recording it and was crying to her, begging her not to get the vaccine and willing to pay her money not to go get it. And she's like, you know, mom has already got it. And both, you know, her sisters. And he's like, I know. And I'm losing my family. Don't you know? I'm like, what? I was like, you're acting like your family's becoming like cockroaches or something, or they're going to turn into Jeff Goldblum. Like, I don't know what he was, dude. It was like, it was kind of scary. He's like, you think I'm crazy?
Yes,
I was like, fuck yes, you are, Dad. God, mom's gonna leave you, or she's already left you for the milkman. like it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. If you don't want to get it, it's cool. But like literally crying and making your daughter feel like shit and trying to pay her money because you're afraid, or for whatever. Because he was like, it's not FDA approved, and don't you know it's genetic modification? I was like, holy shit, you're gonna
turn into a turtle.
He has Alex Jones on repeat in his head. Like they're turning the goddamn frogs gay.
Oh,
when they put that shit in the water, they're turning. You're gonna get the gay. You're gonna get the gay.
Oh,
what?
You're gonna become one of those gays. It's June.
It's so weird. I don't know, but again, I mean, you know, it's not. You know, it is what it is. Like I'm not gonna bitch at somebody for not getting it, or if somebody does get it. I mean, that's your decision. I mean, that's what it is. But Jesus Christ, just acting like, you know, just making your daughter feel like that. You got to get some help, brother.
Quanon says it's a lie.
You got to get some help. That's some wackadoo, some wackadoo shit.
It starts with the letter Q. That's how I know. Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I don't know. And again, I don't want it to get to a point because you have to be real careful about what you say about the vaccine and what you don't say about the vaccine.
Yeah.
And when you bring up Blovid, because YouTube will come get you and
Yeah.
Facebook
I
come
don't
get
know.
you. You'll feel Mark Zuckerberg's dick for a week because he'll
We're,
put it right in that butt
we're
and
living
break it off.
we're living in a stupid time where people get their news from each other.
I don't
You
know.
know?
Yeah, in the whole thing with the FDA, yes, I understand that it's not technically approved by the FDA. It was an emergency approval by the FDA. But listen, they're not sticking you full of like shit that's gonna like grow you a third eyeball. But if it does, maybe you'll get superpowers of it. I mean, but it's no one's dropping dead left and right from it. So I'm
It's
not
that
understanding
goddamn Joe
exactly
Biden
why.
trying to track my whereabouts is what it is.
Look, even Joe Biden, like, dude, the motherfucker can't even walk up steps. I'm not even basing it on him what he's recommending. I'm talking about the scientists that are coming out saying, "Hey, it's okay. You can take it.
You would
It's
have thought,
okay."
hey, Trump got it, Biden got it,
Yeah, it's
everyone's
not like
good. Let's get it.
it's just so weird, dude. I swear, just the amount of freaking crazy is. I mean, luckily I didn't see any in Walgreens. There wasn't one guy standing with like a trash can barrel of fire when I walked in. It's like, don't you go in there and get that shot. The devil will get you. He'll
You're
get you.
all doomed.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those guys out there, thank God. But in other places, like, ooh,
I pulled my shoulder. It hurts.
oh,
Yeah, I was jerking off feverishly.
I know she's gotten into that really hyper mode.
Yeah, no, I heard it at the gym, and then I didn't want to show that I heard it, so I just kept going with what I was doing, and I probably ripped it in half. But it's gonna be okay.
That you do that too often, dude, you're gonna wind up getting surgery on it, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna be fuck city.
Now, I'll just Mel Gibson like slam it into or Riggs from Lethal Weapon, just slam it into a shelving unit, and be like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll work
feel
too.
good. It
I
will.
don't think it'll work in real life, but you can. I'd
can
like
try.
to see it. Film
Yeah,
it first.
I will. I'll put it on TikTok.
Do you know? Yeah, it'll sell too. You'll be a viral sensation. It's like dumbass tries to put his shoulder back in place after tearing joints.
Zach Cornett, first super chat of the night. Thank you, buddy. It says, hey, yo. Can't wait for that Scooby-Doo reaction in the future. Yeah, he sent over a video. It's the Scooby-Doo Blair Witch. Shit's hilarious. We'll have to do a reaction video, too. I didn't watch it. I only watched like 10 seconds of it, and I laughed my ass off, so I thought, saving this for a reaction. He said, much love. Got a dip. Got a date tonight. Ooh.
Oh, good. Well, don't be dipping if you got a date. Jesus Christ.
May
Don't
you
dip.
get laid in all the appropriate ways.
That was a joke. Like, go ahead, go get your wiener wet. But I meant like, don't dip. Like, because you said I got to dip.
Yeah, girls don't like that. Neither do boys. So
Yeah,
it's
not
gross. It doesn't matter what sex you are. To kiss someone who's had dip in their mouth is disgusto.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, but I have.
I mean, at least it kind of smells good, but I mean, the idea of the fact that they're like, you won't make out. Hold on. No,
Hey,
that's all right.
Let me put my spit cup over here, man. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it, buddy. Mercurio80, appreciate you, my friend. He says, I'm here and I'm not wearing pants. That's the way we like it.
I saw your wiener. And that's a nice looking shaft. You should put that on a mantle.
That's
nice
good,
and clean.
That's a good looking
small,
dick, Peter.
Good balls, real smooth. Yeah, it's weird. Speaking of reacting to something, there was a rumor that we were going to get a new Spider-Man trailer today, or at least a lot of people were speculating that the new Spider-Man trailer was going to be out today. Unfortunately,
we got this
that didn't
covered.
happen.
They missed
No,
one.
no, there was actually, it wasn't them. I mean, they would be on top of anything. They would say they'd be like, oh, a T-Rex was spotting in the parking lot, so they're making a fucking new Jurassic Park. Yeah. It's going to take place in the parking lot.
The vertical equinox is left, so Halloween Kills is coming out today.
I saw a T-Rex at TGIF's parking lot. It's going to be the next sequel. I saw Jeff Goldblum having a waffle. The thing is though, apparently the new trailer, or at least what the idea behind the new Spider-Man, it's not going to just shake up the MCU, but it's actually going to affect Sony's in-house Spider-Man franchise, which a lot of people are speculating that's because they're going to, Tobey Maguire is supposed to come back and Andrew Garfield's going to be in it, and they're going to create their multi-dimensional Spider-Man.
I saw Gwen Stacy said she's not coming back. So that's at least one that's not
Emma Stone.
Yeah. She would have been expensive.
She's busy being like Cruella, which
Yeah.
apparently that's doing really well in theaters. Everybody's loving that shit.
Yeah, I can't do the Disney stuff, but I hear people are loving the shit out of it for sure. Hey, Jared Theropt says, what's your guys' favorite what's your favorite song by the Merkins? Mine is Die by My Knife. The dance moves are legit. It won't quit. I'm gonna throw Leatherface some love. I think the Leatherface one, the I got friends faces in low places, or whichever one that was. I would go with that one.
I like any of them. I love them all equally except Die by My Knife. And that's only because we're asked to react to that motherfucker like every 2 seconds, and we've literally reacted to every. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd pick if the favorite one. I think I liked. I like that one. The parody that they did with George Michael.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
What was that? Fuck, I don't
Can't
know
remember the name of it either.
Yeah, but that was a really funny one. I like that one a lot.
That
and that Michael Myers got a nice little stomach going on with that hair, because I think he took his shirt off.
He did. Some of those dudes are just really attractive.
It kind of makes you mad. You're like, what the fuck is the point from anybody else dressing up as Michael Myers?
Yeah.
You guys just look that damn good.
Someone said, Mike, what's in your backyard? That's my dog's poopy pen. That's where he takes his nuptials.
Dude, it does look like, it kind of look like a backyard of somebody that has a yard sale that they put on Craigslist and you just happen to see it. And you got like a little Halloween light going on.
Yeah, man. No, that's where Thor takes his Thor-sized shits. Right in that thing.
Well, on my camera, it just looks like a purple ghostly light.
Hell, you could probably see it from here. I'm still fucking with these lights, by the way. By the way, on Friday, just so you guys know, we are streaming. We're doing the live stream in person. We're doing the entire live stream in person. We're going to plan a bunch of cool stuff. I'm going to have a whole new setup. I'm going to try to do the live stream from the couch, dude. I want to set us up from the couch, make it look like it did when we were doing the Wham video show.
Yeah, we should scissor while we do it.
Yeah, we're definitely.
We should be in a scissor position.
Yeah, we're gonna feed each other chicken nuggets while we're doing.
Yeah, that'll be great. It'll be sponsored by Brazzers. We're looking for sponsors, so anything helps.
Is it still 69 when it's two dudes, or is it like a different number?
I always thought if it was two dudes, I always call it 68.
Why?
I don't know, because 69 is like you think of like a vagina and then a dick, and then 68 would be two dudes, and then I said 70.
Carry the two.
For vaginas. I don't know. I just always went up one number.
Yeah. Happy Pride Month, by the way, everybody. Happy Pride Month. See a lot of awesome stuff going on in the world. Supporting the good shit going on in the world. Mercurio80 says, have you guys heard they're thinking of making a Fast and Furious and Jurassic Park crossover movie? I think that was one of those We Got This Covered, I think, maybe. Yeah, I think that was We Got This Covered. So I heard it and then I immediately forgot about it because it's not true at all. But if they did, that would be a shame because that would shit on Jurassic Park, which is actually sort of interesting to me, whereas Fast and Furious is just poopy to me now.
I don't want to shit on, and I know a lot of people love Fast and Furious franchise for whatever fucking reason. But dude, when I think of Fast and Furious, I literally think of the first one with Paul Walker, and that made sense. That was a cool ass little flick, and I liked it a lot. I even liked Tokyo Drift. I thought that was just almost not as good as the first one, but up there. I hated the second one. It's terrible. But the third one was it. And then dude, it had just morphed beyond, like, eventually these motherfuckers are gonna be driving spaceships and like doing hijacks in like on a moon base. Like it's just getting so ridiculous now. Like I don't know.
CGI, yay!
But I mean, Vin Diesel's got to have a job doing something. I mean, yes. I'm not seeing him cast in anything else.
That's true. At least Vin Diesel's getting some work.
Well, he was Groot, but I mean, all he had to say was, "I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers."
You want me to do it again? No, man. We'll just loop it. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, dude. Again, if the only thing that would interest me in a Fast and Furious franchise at this point, if they said we're going to do a Fast and the Furious franchise and there's going to be no CGI in it, and this is all going to be physical stunts that are done by stunt men and stunt women, then I would be like, I want to see that fucking movie. I'm excited.
Wouldn't that just be a documentary crew following around NASCAR?
No, it'd be like an 80s or 90s action movie, but with the idea of Fast and Furious. Like, we're gonna do the craziest stunts you've ever seen, and we're gonna Tom Cruise the bitch. That would interest me. But this CG
they're gonna
shit,
keep going. Those guys are gonna get older and older, and it's gonna be called Not Fast, Not Furious, Part 86.
I saw the trailer for that the other day, and I swear to God, it's like Sharknado at this point. It's like they don't get the same, because Vin Diesel literally said family in the trailer. He's like, the thing about a family is it's like a car. You build up the car. And you treat it right, and you get it oil changes, and then it becomes a family, and then it lasts forever. Family. Yeah. Fast and the Furious 9. That was.
Dude, I really wish. I just wish Vin Diesel. I wish they had gone back and he had been just. I mean, he was committed, but they just didn't do anything with the franchise. I would have loved to have seen the Chronicles of Riddick continue on. I liked him in that. I like Pitch Black a lot. I like the Chronicles of Riddick. I wanted to have a franchise of that shit. That was badass, but. He chose Fast and Furious, and it is what it be. Okay.
Yeah, I never really was a Vin Diesel fan myself, anyways. But
he's hit or miss acting. He really can play one role really well, and that's about all he can do.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. No offense to him. Mercurio80, thanks, buddy. He says, have you guys heard that? I just fucking answered that. Mercurio, why'd you do it twice? I'm kidding. He didn't do it twice. I read it twice. Ballad of the Broken says, if Jamie Lee would have commented on my Instagram post, my hog would have turned into a Quaker's Oats can. Mommy. That's what it said.
Yeah. Well, how do you know it didn't? We just didn't talk about it.
That's true. Maybe it did. I was taking a shit when I saw that Jamie Lee Curtis liked our Instagram post, which me saying that is exactly why she never will again. Not that she knows this, so I can say what I want actually. But yeah, that was cool, and maybe there was wood popped.
I didn't. I didn't believe it. I saw it at 3:00 in the morning. I was like, it's fucking bullshit.
This is a lie.
And then I clicked it, and it was like that verify check mark, and it went back to her page, and I was like, it's fake. China did it.
Yeah,
it's not even real.
China
did it again. They hacked the satellites.
I just went back and I was like, well, I'm going to spend the rest of my evening just watching the True Lies scene on repeat now. So you can gather from that what you will, good sir. Thank you very much for the super chat. Vinny C, thank you, my friend. He says, you guys will love the Scooby-Doo project. It ran during Cartoon Network's Scooby-Doo Marathon in 1999. Can't wait to see the reaction. Yeah, maybe we'll fit that in Friday night. Fit it in. Maybe we'll fit it in.
We got an industrial size lube.
Fit it in.
So we were good.
Yeah.
Lots of things could fit in there.
Quaker steak.
Mm-hmm.
Quaker lube. Quaker lube.
I really do want to go back and look at the dislikes, because the fact that we were attacking the Fast and the Furious franchise and Vin Diesel, it's gonna be like, you guys are obviously assholes. And
there's a lot to dislike.
It's a huge franchise. Like people fucking love that. I mean, they want to suck Vin Diesel's exhaust pipe forever.
Yeah. Well, people like. I mean, I get. Hey, people like it. You know, people like Escape Room. When shit on that got a lot of hate for that. What are you gonna do? I wish it's just one of those things. It's like I wish I could get into it because I love action movies. I'm envious of those who do like Fast and the Furious. You know, I've never liked it. I saw like the 7th one. I was like, oh, that was pretty fun, and then just fucking forgot.
I don't even know. Like I said, dude, I don't even. If it's on, I don't even know what season or movie that, like, it's just it all goes together. It's like a Friday the 13th franchise. It just mixes and goes to, it flows together. It's not really like, it's hard for me to pick out one particular movie except for the first one in Tokyo Drift.
I also really hate Tyrese. Like, just hate. I don't like Vin Diesel. I don't like Tyrese. I never like anybody in those movies, you know? So, Nicholas
he was the one in the second one, wasn't he?
No, Tyrese has been in the whole fucking thing.
Too Fast, Too Furious, but Vin Diesel wasn't in Too Fast, Too Furious. It was Paul Walker, and I thought that was Tyrese's first one.
I don't know. I thought Vin Diesel's been in all of them.
No, Vin Diesel wasn't in the second one, because that's why I fucking hated it. Because that's like Speed 2, and they didn't have Keanu Reeves.
Jason Patrick, Cruise Control. Nicholas Bittner, thanks, buddy. Says, hey, finally joined the Patreon. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the Patreon. Many gifts for you to touch. Many gifts in me shop. Come touch them. Come smell them.
Show me your treasures, gypsies. Lay them out from front of me. Don't you trick me, gypsy.
Put them inside of you. If you must, we will wash for next customer. Thanks, buddy. Fan for years. At the highest tier, can I ask you to review my movie? I'm editing now. Thanks, guys. Hey, we have a tier, the top tier, where you can pick a movie for us to review and do a commentary for. I do feel weird about that, because if we don't like it, I don't want to poop on your movie, because, you know, we're friends, but we're always honest. Like, sometimes people will ask us to do movies on the Patreon, and then we'll put the video up and we'll be like, hey guys, we thought this movie fucking sucked. We still love you, but I hated this fucking movie, but we watched it and we'll review it. I don't want to do that to someone who made their movie, though. I
mean, we'll make fun of Halloween, like Michael Myers masks and shit, but it makes me feel, because I know that any fan film or whatever that someone works on, like, it might not be great or whatever, because, you know, they don't have the backing of Hollywood or whatnot, but I know they work hard on it, and I know it took them a long time, you know, just the writing it out and filming it and spending their own money. And I really don't want to be that asshole, be like, actually, the cinematography was subpar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
On top of that, the atmosphere building, are you in kindergarten school? Because kindergarten school?
But hey,
are you in preschool?
There's also the chance that it's a fucking awesome movie, Nicholas.
You never know.
But yeah, we'll do it, man. If that's the movie you want to pick for your movie, we'll do it. I just want you to know that we're going to be uncomfortable the entire time.
I like it better when you know that, if you know that the people that made it are pure pricks. And if they make fun of us first, then you have to begrudgingly give them respect if they watch a movie that's actually good. Be like, I can't say shit about it. I mean, I don't like them.
Yeah, but somebody you like does a shitty movie, and then you're like, oh man, it was. I like the
Yeah, it's like your if it's like your
movie
kid learning
of
how
it.
to play like saxophone and fucking butchering Louie Louie, and you're like, oh honey, it's so great, you're gonna get the scholarship for sure. You're like, holy fuck, she's terrible. I can't even look at her in the face. It's
Latrell
like what I don't know.
Latrell 316 says, "Aren't they going to do space in F9? Are we on F9 or are we
I
on F8?"
I thought we were in F15,
Fig Newton.
14. I don't know.
Fig Newton. If they do space, I will become even less interested, to be honest with you, because it was about the cars, right? You can't drive a car in fucking space.
Somebody in the comments actually hit the nail on the head. They were like, the Fast and the Furious franchise is literally one of the hardest franchise to describe to anybody that's not seen the Fast and the Furious franchise. I mean, what the fuck is it about anymore? Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, for the first one was obvious. They were souped up cars. They were doing illegal street racing.
Yeah.
They got involved with the mafia guys or whatever. Paul Walker was an undercover agent trying to expose that. And then they became friends, and it was souped up cars and burglary and an action flick. That was all it was.
Now they're like a secret government team or
What
something.
the fuck is going on? Like,
Hey.
holy shit. If Optimus Prime drops in as a race car, I'm like, this makes sense. Okay, now we're at this point.
We got diplomatic immunity because I went to the government and I said, "Hey, we're family. We're family. You can't arrest family." And then they were like, "Do what you want." So we made 8 more movies, and we're like super secret agents now.
Diplomatic immunity.
Give me a Corona. Diplomatic immunity. Somebody give me a Corona. I'm serious. Sean Davis, the pantsless wonder, says, "Sup, pants wearers? I just peed. I needed to tell you. I don't like keeping secrets from you. I don't like your beards either. Love me. Hashtag pants equals
We
no."
do love you, pantsless asshole. By the way, did you just say you peed? Like, did he just say he peed?
He just peed.
That's like gonna be a fucking sprinkler with no pants on. It's just gonna be hitting you in the face, like in that blooper from the 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's like, ah. God, you gotta put like a tissue down or something. I don't know.
I was driving in the car with my 7-year-old nephew, and what it was that he said right after dinner. We're like 25 minutes away from the house, and he's like, "Oh man," he's like, "I ate so much." He's like, "I feel sick," and then he goes, "I just fertilized my pants." I was like, "What?" He's like,
he came?
Yeah, no, he fertilized his pants with me. I would guess would mean he shit his pants. And I was like,
I was thinking fertilize it.
Yeah, I was like, "Did you seriously shit your pants in the car?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "You better not have." And Katie was like, "You better not have." I'm serious. He's like, "I did. I totally did." He did,
dude.
Yeah, I was like, "I'd have smelled it, dude. If you shit your pants, we would have smelled it by now." So you're lying. I'm calling your bluff. You want to fucking fight?
I think the worst. I think the worst poop pain I've ever had, where it almost happened, dude. I almost just let it happen. I think I've said this before. I've never like actually just let poop roll out of my asshole before. Like, just be like, I can't hold it anymore. Like, but it happened it happened one time. I didn't let it happen, but like, dude, it was that close. Like, I mean, I was turtle heading like a motherfucker. I could feel it poking my cheek because it wanted to come out so bad. I was driving back, I think, from your house, dude, in the morning. And it hit me. I was on a long stretch of road called Winchester Road. And dude, I had to shit so fucking bad, dude. Like, I could feel it. It was like happening. It was like a superpower was getting ready to explode out my asshole. Like a supernova was on its way. And dude, I was like, I swear to God, just let it happen. Yeah. I was trying to convince myself. I was sitting up like in my seat like this, trying to keep my ass from being squished down on the seat. And I was like, God, just let it happen. Yeah. I was like, if it's going to happen and it's only me in the car, I'll know about it. And then that'll be it. And I'm going to go home and I'll penguin walk myself to the cabinet and get some new undies or whatever. And no one will know about it.
So
but I almost, is that weird? Like, cause if you trust the fart, sometimes you'll shit your pants. Okay. That just happens. I mean, that's uncontrollable.
But it just happens. The fart also promises a slight bit of relief if things go well. So it's a gamble.
Sean was asking what I ate. It was beer poop. It was leftover beer poop mixed in with whatever I'd had. It was like the beer shits. And so, yeah, dude. But if you ever, you gotta like, it's like you're having a war with yourself, like an identity crisis where you're praying to whatever God you believe in, and you're like, I gotta have it happen. Like, and you don't want it. Like, it's your body's way of saying no. Like, it's like going into Terminator mode. It's trying to fight you. Dude, like Skynet.
Just the other day, I have these situations seem to come rarer for you than they do to me. There's at least twice a week where I go into emergency shut down the engines mode. I gotta shit and I gotta shit now. Where the fuck is the toilet, or at least a hole? I can't do that. It happens to me often because I eat spicy shit constantly. I'm constantly eating ghost pepper hot sauce and shit like that. So I'm always like, at any point in the day, I need to know where the fucking exits are, like Jason Bourne, so I can take a hot shit. Happened to me the other day at Walmart. After you left, we drank the night before. You were here,
Yeah.
and the next day. I got up and I was like, God, fuck it. It was like 9 a.m. I was like, gotta edit these fuck videos. Where's my USB card? Went to plug in the card. It didn't work. So I had to go to Walmart, which is like 40 minutes from here. And I had to buy a new USB reader before I can edit the goddamn video that nobody was going to fucking watch anyways. Yeah, well, I took the kid with me to Walmart because I watched my kids during the day. So, and the 11-year-old's good to stay here by herself, but I took the 5-year-old with me. We went to Walmart. Every time we go to Walmart now, because of COVID, where she doesn't get to go anywhere, she gets a toy. I know that we're spoiling her. Judge me later. We're in the toy aisle. We're going around. I got the USB reader. And it hits me, dude. And it hits me fucking hard. Now, I want to remind you guys that I have a 5-year-old daughter. She is a daughter. When you're alone, your wife's not with you, you're alone with a 5-year-old inside of a Walmart. What do you do when you have to shit? Your only options are to take the 5-year-old, can't leave her alone, into the men's restroom.
You take her in the stall. Do you go to the handicap stall while she sits in the corner and just stares at you?
Thank God Walmart, dude, had a family restroom. Now, for all you dads out there, Walmart has something called family restrooms. I don't know why. I don't know why it exists, but it saved me. It saved, yeah, there's some fucking hot food. There's macaroni and cheese and everything in there. No, so it's always in the electronics section. In case you guys have this happen to you, and it's kind of a big, nice bathroom. There's a single toilet in there. They got the diaper situation. Anyways, we go in there. I'm like, honey, pick your fucking like.
You make her? Did you make her turn around and stand in the corner and face away from you like in the Blair Witch?
Yes, I did. I'll get to that. But when we're standing there and they hit me and they were wet and they were hard and they were hot and like not yet, but I knew it was gonna be. I was like, she's like, is this toy? Is this toy? I'm like, I'm at this point, I'm hoping I can hold it till I get home because I don't want to go through that. And I'm just like, I was like,
grab the fucking Slinky.
Yeah, I was like Harry and Dumb and Dumber when he's like, just give me the goddamn number. I was like, just pick
get the Lego brick.
Yeah, I was like, just pick a toy. So finally, I was like, honey, put it down. I was like, we gotta go. She's like, why? I was like, we'll come back to the toys. So we jet lined it. I had that great thought about the family restroom. We go in there. We shut the door. I sit down. I'm like, all right. First off, you're not vaccinated. Do not touch anything in this goddamn bathroom. Okay, do not touch a thing in this bathroom. She's like, okay. I shut the door. I lock it.
Vaccinated or not, just don't touch anything in a bathroom ever.
That's
especially
a good point,
at Walmart.
Too. That's a good point too. But I was thinking there, I was like, please God be open, please God be open. And that feeling of relief when you get to a stall, whether it's the family restroom or not, or the toilet stall door, the feeling of relief when there's no one in there and then the toilet's actually clean, it's just like, oh, just like put me in that when I die. Like that is just the best feeling ever. So, but anyways, yeah, I sit down, I'm like, okay, turn around, look at the wall. And she's 5, so she's like, are you gonna poop? And I'm like, look the other way. And then she's like,
yes, what do you think, I'm sitting here for my pleasure?
She's trying
some hot coals.
She's trying to look at what's going on, and I'm trying to cover it up. I'm like, stop! Fucking stop looking at me! And then so she's like, she turns around and she literally goes, "This is the worst day ever." Like,
it would
just
be.
don't
Dude,
touch anything.
If
She's
I
like,
were dragged in there with my dad, so, if she, you know what, you should have grabbed some Glade on your way and just be like, I'll pay for it later, and then just here, honey, just spray this when it starts smelling real bad.
She was like, "Oh, Dad, it stinks." I was like, "I'm sorry."
Dude, you missed your opportunity, man. Well, it was 2 years. He's like, I smelled your shit for 22 years. You can't smell mine for 5 minutes. He goes, bring your ass up in here. Yeah, dude. I was just thinking because when you said don't touch anything because you're not vaccinated. Well, I mean, even if you aren't, like I said, it's a public bathroom at Walmart. Don't touch shit. Right. Like literally, you need to walk in there like Bubble Boy.
Or regardless.
But it's one of those things. It's like when you walk in and you touch anything, do I feel like I'm playing Deal or No Deal? And like, and he's walking up to his like, and the suitcase opens, like, you've got hepatitis C. Deal or no deal, touch again and put it to. I'm like, yeah, but sure, dude, when you gotta go,
bathrooms are a little cleaner though.
The weird thing is
Walmart. Good job.
I do when I gotta go, if I'm out in public and I get that like straight shit feel, like I got the torpedoes in the launch bay and they're coming out, like it's gonna go down on it's just gonna happen. Like there's gonna be a World War III in my panties. It's just gonna go down. I get this stone, like I get like Rocky Balboa mentality. Like, I gotta get home like shit brick in American Pie, and I'll start running like T-1000, dude. I'll have the same look on my face, and I'll have that, and I'll get home. I've never taken a poop in except in that I had to at a Crystal's bathroom, but it wound up being at McDonald's because dude, that like I was gonna shit my pants and I was with my ex and her family. I was literally gonna shit my pants because it was tequila shits. And dude, it's the most uncomfortable thing because it's the worst thing because I'm trying to pull all the toilet tissue off of the fucking thing and put it down so you can sit down on it. And I feel like I mean, I want it so high. I want to like look like I'm sitting on a game of like the Game of Thrones throne. I want to sit up like this. I want there to be that much padding between my ass cheek and that fucking and if my even if my calf muscle touches the metal, I'm like oh my god, I'm gonna get a disease. And then
I don't even care, dude. At this point, I don't even care. After COVID and shit, I'm like, I've washed my groceries for the past fucking year. I'm just gonna sit on this goddamn toilet seat bare ass.
The worst thing is I know how because Race B says lay the toilet paper down on the seat, thank me later. I know that, but my problem is sometimes like, are you supposed to wet it sometimes so it stays on the seat? Because
don't wet it.
Well, I'm not saying I did it. But,
yeah, don't wet. They didn't end up with wet toilet paper stuck to your ass
because it kept falling in.
Yeah, you got to sit there and hold it, man.
I did, but I kept slipping out of my cheeks and
got to fucking.
Well, it was like, dude, it looked like a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah,
like,
and then when you go to wipe, it's just gonna fall off. You're just gonna have to live with it.
But it looked like it. But I was terrified because my ass cheek was touching the plastic.
Yeah, it's your ass, man. You're not gonna lick your own ass later.
I don't want to touch the plastic.
Just wash it when you take a shower,
dude. There's so many diseases that could crawl up your butthole and you'd never know it.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, dude, what if the toilet water like gets it like splashes on your butthole and then?
Yeah, that's what you flush.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't cover. I can't do that. I'll break my fucking back.
It's not that like organisms aren't ticks. I don't think like if you get someone else's butt germs on your butt cheek, they like fucking crawl into your asshole and then into your bloodstream. I don't think so.
I don't know how it works. I don't want to find out, but I do know like there's some creatures that live in the Amazon River that'll go up your pee-pee hole.
Yeah, dude.
Like they'll literally if you're just like hanging out in the Amazon River, these little organisms, these little fucking nasty things will go up your urethra and fucking live there. Yeah, your pee-pee hole. I'm just gonna say pee-pee hole. Like I could never be a doctor because I can't even remember the medical terms. I'm like, hey, your pee-pee hole's inflamed. They're like, what's that? What's the medical term? I was like, your penis hole.
your wang onus is inflamed.
Hey, you know what? I love the fact that 260 awesome people in here, and we've talked about shit and bathroom stories for the whole time. That's been great, though.
It's a slow news day. We're not gonna lie.
There really is nothing to talk about.
Hey guys, guess what? All right, I secretly heard that the Halloween Kills trailer is going to come out eventually. So
yeah, that's
what tonight's show.
And I heard maybe it's possible that we'll get a little taste of. Ready? Michael Myers in this one.
Oh Jesus!
A little tiny taste.
You're lying.
I swear to God, man. I know. Strike me dead if I'm lying. That's what I heard.
Spoiler alert. Hello.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I poop too much. And then I get tired.
Yeah, dude. I don't. What have you watched this week?
Me?
You watch yourself in the mirror taking a shit.
I watched myself getting fatter.
We all have that fatter. Now. It's called the lockdown. Every morning you look in yourself in the mirror and you're like, fuck me.
I showed Katie's brother Shaun of the Dead the other night. That was a good time. He'd never seen it before. Awesome time. Been watching all the old zombie movies because eventually I thought it'd be fun for us to do our top 10 zombie movies. And I realized there's a lot of zombie movies I need to get re-upped on. Started watching Dawn of the Dead. Got about halfway through it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I got bored and fell asleep.
What was it?
The original Dawn of the Dead.
Well, it's a good movie. It's
a good movie.
It's definitely one of those. It's one of those deep burners. Yeah, it pays off in the end, but it is slow.
Yeah, I've seen it before and I like that. I just fell asleep trying to watch it. Fuck, what else was there? I'm still watching Entourage. I'm still making we're in season 7 now, so we're almost done with the goddamn thing. And you haven't even fucking started yet, Jay. Just do it.
I already watched it.
You're a fucking liar.
I watched it like 3 years ago.
You're a liar and a whore.
I watched it before you even knew what it was.
You're a terrible kisser.
Well, that's not my fault. You had a blister on your lip and I avoided it. What do you want me to do?
Justin Martin says, got any hilarious party stories from high school? You guys had me rolling in tears reminiscing over parents' arguments last stream. Love you guys. Love you too, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was before our giant conversation on just taking hot shits just now, so that kind of ties into the same thing.
Party stories, though? Specifically party stories?
Party stories. Like, you got any party stories we haven't talked about?
I think we've talked about most of them. I didn't go to a lot of parties because I was a fucking nerd. Ogre in high school. But no, I do. The only one that I remember like that, and it was one of the worst. It was one of the worst experiences though, because and I've told this story before, but I'll say it again since you might not have heard it. These fucking earbuds.
You need to get bigger
I was like
ears.
17, 16, 17, I mean, it was maybe 17. I went up to Mike's former brother-in-law's farm.
I
They
remember
were
that.
having a party up there, and it was me, Mike. I think Cody was up there.
And I was
It
like 15, right?
or 15 or 16. Yeah, I don't know what we
You
were.
were
I mean,
like 17, maybe.
yeah, we were young.
Yeah.
We couldn't legally drink, but anyway, we were gonna go up there and drink.
Keyword
And,
legally. Yeah.
yeah, we went up there, and I didn't know we were gonna. I thought we were just gonna hang out and play Mario Brothers. I didn't know we were gonna be like doing anything like risque, like drinking beer.
We're in the mountains in the middle of the goddamn
Yeah,
night.
well,
night
then okay, fine,
trailer.
then fine, like a Game Boy. Okay, I understand. We'll play Game Boy. But anyway, so I was supposed to bring my own beer. I didn't have access to beer, so I didn't bring my own beer. But I got up there, everybody had their own beer. So I was like, well, I don't have fucking beer now. I'm not gonna have a good time, and this fucking sucks because everyone else is drinking. So everybody felt bad for me, and they gave me like 3 beer. Like they gave me a beer, like it was Mike. I think Cody was there, and another person. They gave me a beer each. So I drank it really fast to get a buzz. I'm like, all right, well, this is cool. It'll maintain. It was in my early drinking years, so 3 beers would be good. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling fucking good. Let's have a barbecue. And then his ex-brother-in-law brought out like a big giant thing of Mad Dog and Jägermeister. And I was like, give me, the Mad Dog looked like Kool-Aid. I was like, oh, this would be fine. I drank the fuck out of that. I drank Mad Dog all day. And then I was gone then. My shit was blanked out. Like the shutters had gone down, closed for COVID, no situation in the brains. So I remember the last rational thought I remember the Jägermeister sitting on the table, and it looked like a green beer. It was clear glass, and I thought it was a beer, and I kept drinking it like a beer. So I was probably taking shots. I don't know how the fuck I didn't die. I was just drinking this.
I wish you would have.
Boom. Yeah, I know, but I would have come back and haunt you. Okay, I've been on that shit all day. But what happened was and that was the first time. I think it's been the only time I literally blacked out, and I woke up on the floor because I remember reaching over, drinking the Jägermeister, and then it was like a goddamn unsolved mystery. They cut the commercial, and then I'm laying on the floor, and they're trying to feed me ice and L8, which is a ginger ale drink around here, and I'm like, I don't even know what happened.
May I fill you in on what happened?
Yeah, you told me.
That was a crazy party, by the way. There was this kid that was hanging out with us that we didn't like, and he was an asshole, and nobody liked him. And he was this like weird, like super racist kid that like we're like, why the fuck is he here? Like I don't know. We were skating with him the other day, and he came. He was wearing a Carhartt and brought his like skateboard. It's like no one liked him. He was a huge dick. Like I don't support picking on anybody, especially at parties or anything like that. This guy was a twat. And he was super annoying. Anyway, long story short, he drank like 16 Smirnoff Ices because that's what the rest of us were drinking while Jay was over here starting his leaving Las Vegas tour.
I did. I went on a magic adventure.
Because we were 15 years old. We were drinking my sister's Smirnoff Ices. I had Saturday school the next morning, by the way. Drank one of them on the way there. That was the start of a weird alcoholism. Thank God I got rid of it, right? But anyways, the point is that someone peed on that kid. He drank like 16 Smirnoff Ices, passed out, and then
did I pee on him?
No, it wasn't you. It was. It rhymes with Ryle. He was like, "Hey, you guys, watch this." Because we were like, he was passed out in the corner, and like people were like poking him, like, "Dude, he's fucking gone."
What an asshole!
And then Ryle was like, "Hey, watch this," and he literally peed in his lap, dude. He peed into his lap while the guy was passed out.
That's so fucking gross. I don't know why I'm laughing.
And it was cold outside. But anyways, Jay, dude, you stripped down to your fucking underwear.
I know. I don't know. I didn't remember any of this.
Jay strips down to his goddamn underwear. And my sister she's 5 years older than me. She is she will fuck you up, okay? She will fuck you up. She is a strong woman, and she doesn't she's been in more.
None of my boxers. It's like, hey, we're going streaking. Will Ferrell's like, honey, is KFC still open?
Your goddamn tidy whities, Jay. You stripped down to your tidy whities.
My G.I. Joes.
She's been in more fights than I have. Let me just put it in. She's won more fights than I have too. But no, anyways, we're out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Let me just paint the picture here. We're on the side of a goddamn mountain. And I said trailer. It's not a trailer. It was a nice little tiny home. But it was the point where to get a home out there, it had to be trailer-ish, okay? Really nice inside. They had granite and everything. But the point is that, I mean, fucking coyotes and everything. Jay goes running down the fucking road in his goddamn underwear. Like, I don't know what he was talking about. He was like, I
gotta catch the moon. I gotta catch... You know what I was really saying? It was an ancient dialect that people had forgotten. No, I had drank so much that I was connected to Latin. I was like,
Like, I want to run. I
was
want
like,
to run.
was
Lions
like,
and tigers and bears.
if they had got closer and they'd actually had someone that could transcribe what I was saying, I was probably telling them about how to catch the moon and therefore catch immortality.
Goddamn Cuckoo got screwed. Anyway, Jay goes running off this extremely dangerous one-lane Kentucky deep woods road. And Cheryl comes outside and we're all just sitting there laughing. And she goes, "Where the fuck is JT?" And we're like, she's like, "Where the fuck is he?" Because she was of age. Like, she could have gotten in trouble if one of us got fucked up. And
well, I thought
like,
you said that the neighbor was going to shoot me.
She did say that. She said the neighbor would have shot you. And dude, she fucking like took off after you like goddamn Keanu Reeves in Speed chasing a bus. She runs Jay down. She comes back.
I gotta keep it above 55.
We can still see the point where she caught up to him, and Jay turns around and is like, "Kaboogan," and she was fucking just smacked the shit out of him.
She Hadouken. Dude, you know what? I remember you telling me that, and I was so embarrassed when I woke up and they were just feeding me ice, and I was like, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "Oh fuck, dude." I was like, "Oh fuck." I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "I gotta apologize to your sister, man," because I was like, "You're like, Jay, you fucking almost got shot, man." I'm like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "You ran down the fucking," because that's all I remember is waking up and having. I thought I died, and I was like, I thought I was being entered into heaven. Because they were just faces above me that were feeding me ice and giving me helping, encouraging words.
I didn't get to the part where she fucking fireman carried you back to the goddamn house. She just walks up the hill with little Jay on her fucking shoulders.
I wish I'd been like not drunk enough to where I could have been like, "Oh, what a woman!" Like in Police Academy. "Oh, what a woman! I love America."
Was that the first time you were ever drunk? By the way, like drunk?
No, dude, that was the first time that I had ever drank liquor.
Oh, okay.
That's why, because
probably like the third time you ever drank overall, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I hadn't drank a lot then, and that's why when I took those 3 beers, I chugged them as fast as I could to get a buzz, and then I would have been good for the evening. But then they brought out the free shit, and I'm like, "Oh, it's free." And then your ex brother-in-law was like, "Hey, we ain't gonna drink these no more. If y'all won't drink them, go ahead." Boom. And I'm like, "Well, that's just an invitation." I was like, "This free? This free?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, go ahead and drink it all you want." And I guess he probably thought that we were like seasoned drinkers because we were from Kentucky. He's like, "Yeah, them boys 16 years old in Kentucky. That's like being 45 and an alcoholic. You're good. Go ahead."
Not yet. We was not ready for that. Jake Messman says, "Nothing worse than when it hits you at a concert." I've never pooped at a concert, but I can tell you, Jay's brother Cody and I went to a 3 Days Grace concert. And this motherfucker and his girlfriend gave me a ride up there. We drove 2 hours to Cincinnati to Bogart's. And if you know Bogart's, you don't want to poop in Bogart's.
That's a gross ass place.
And they updated it. It's nice now. Back then, you pooped in there. You had to do heroin to get into the bathroom, probably.
It was a prerequisite.
But literally, dude.
Can I see the tracks in your arm, sir? Okay, you're good to go. Here's a bracelet.
Let me jab you. All right. Come out. You're like, they don't have a good bathroom to do coke in. But no, we get to the concert, and it's just me, him, and his girlfriend, okay? She drives us. We get there, and he goes, "Dude, I gotta go." I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "I gotta poop." I was like,
"Well, goddamn.
Just there's a Kroger right down the street." He's like, "No, man, I'm not pooping in public. I gotta go." And I was like, "Dude, we paid like $40 for these tickets." And this is like 3 Days Grace, by the way, right when they started.
Yeah, if Cody makes it's done. Like he's not gonna do it.
Yeah. So that's what happened. That's the second time I've been stranded at Bogart's. But he was like, "I gotta go. Vanessa. I think her name was Samantha. She was like, she's gonna take me home. We're gonna put." I was like, "Home? Fucking Kentucky?"
Yeah, dude, he was gonna go back.
Yeah. He's like, I was like, "I'm not fucking leaving, dude." He was like, "That's fine." No, he's like, "You stay." He's like, "You stay. I gotta go poop." And I was
God,
like,
that sounds just like it too, because he doesn't give fuck one about your comforts. It's like, if I don't get my way, Cody would be a great Italian mafia. He'd be Joe Pesci in Goodfellas.
True. Yeah.
He would. He'd be like, "What, you think I'm a fucking clown?" He'd fucking kill you and be like, "I'll fuck," like the guy, like the little kid. He shot the foot. He shot his fucking foot. He was like, he shouldn't have run his fucking mouth.
Well, to be fair, at least Cody let me stay at the concert because they were my only ride home. Because I was like, "Dude, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm here. We're the fucking front. We got here early. We stood in line. I'm in the front." Watch the concert. And he's like, "I'm going to poop. Dude. Fuck you. I'm going to poop." I was like, "All right, pick me back up." He's like, "No." He's like, "I'll be back, dude." I think he lied to me. I think he actually told me. I think he's like, "I'm just going to go down here. I'll be back." And I was like, "You're going fucking," like the end of the concert, dude. Literally.
Yeah.
Uh, it worked out because I met a girl there, and we ended up missing the concert too because we were making out in the back of somebody's car. That's another story for another day. He picks me up after the concert, like literally the concert's over. People are spilling into the streets, and I'm in the backseat of this car, and I get out of the car, and then Cody and her pull up, and they're like, "Dude," and I'm like, "Dude." I was like, "Where you been?" He's like, "We went back to fucking Winchester, Kentucky, so I could take a shit."
I couldn't believe he held it that long.
Oh my god!
Like, I thought I had the T1000 gene. Cody's got the T holy shit thousand gene.
I was
he
good.
He can hold that in forever.
Yeah, dude. I was even mad though because I got out of the car with my fucking boner in my jeans, and I was like, "Cool, man, let's go home."
I'll tell you. I think one of the biggest regrets I ever had is that I had tickets to go see Blink 182. Newfound Glory was opening for them. It was an outside concert. I don't even remember where the fuck it was because I went with a couple of people, and I'm not gonna name them or anything because they're still around. But I went with a couple of people, and we all were gonna get trashed on the way up there, which as you do. We had a DD, so it was all good. I was drinking in the car. I was fucking loaded. I was loaded before we ever crossed the state line, and I was like, fuck. And I like, and there was a chick that liked me in the back seat, and they were trying to arrange like a goddamn like Flavor Flav date meetup or something. They were gonna like get out of the car and leave her in there with me, and then she was gonna like seduce me, and I didn't like her, not really, because I it wasn't my thing. She wasn't my thing, and I remember that everybody had just got White Castle, and everybody had been eating it, and the car smelled like fucking butt fuck onions, like fried onions and pickles, and she had just been slobbering it down. She had like a fully loaded like White Castle thing with like onions and mayonnaise and pickles and tomatoes and all sorts of good shit. And it was, oh god, and I was so drunk I didn't want any food, but I remember like cockeye looking around the car before we stopped and watching it just dribble. I was like, oh fuck. And then I was like, God, no. And I knew what was happening, like peripheral. I knew that they were trying to set me up on like this hookup moment, and I couldn't stop it. It was like being trapped in the real world or something like that. Like I couldn't get out of it. So they got out of the car, and we parked somewhere. They got out of the car, and then they shut the door, and they left the car running, and she's in the back seat, and she just fucking smells like the inside of a goddamn like carton of like a old French fries and day old bread and pickles. And she's like leaning in, and she's like, and she's got like a hot breath, and I could smell that ketchup. I'm like, oh fuck. And I was sick, like drunk. And I was like, oh fuck no. And she leaned in, and she just shoved her goddamn alien tongue right into my mouth. Because I was like, yeah, and then she was talking, and she was like, ugh. Like she just got like one of those fucking face huggers from Alien.
Do that for me one more time.
like one of those, like again, like a face hugger from Alien, and it just went. And like I felt like my throat got raped, and I could just taste the fucking pickles, and I literally ate a hamburger off her tongue. It was just like there was leftover meat in between her teeth that I cleaned out, like I was power brushing this bitch's teeth with my tongue. And then I was like, God, I was
better
so
than your dick.
That was. Yeah, dude. Well, no, I was so turned off by this whole thing. I just wanted to go the fuck home. By the time we got to the concert, I was so drunk sick. I just remember laying on my back in the field and just looking at the sky and maybe passing out because I don't remember anything except waking up and then them saying, all right, we got to go. And then the driver, who was way older than us, I remember him stopping to get gas. I was like, man, I just want to tell you something, man. You're like the coolest guy ever. Like, I gotta be real with you. And I gotta be like, I really appreciate you taking us out of Kentucky and letting us drink in your truck, because that's like some of the coolest thing I've ever seen. And if I were your age, I'd be your best friend.
And then I was like, Jay, get back in the car. I'm trying to drive us to the concert.
Yeah, dude.
It wasn't me. I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, it was. No, this was literally the guy he was probably 10 years older than us. And I was like, if I was your age, I'd be your best friend. And then he was like embarrassed because I was so drunk and I was yelling it.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, get back in the truck. Get back in the truck. I'm like, I just want to say it. I just want you to know. And guess what? I never got invited to another concert with them ever again.
I believe
but
that.
I do remember that was the same girl that showed up at my house that I didn't want to date. And I told Mike and Cody to tell her I'm not interested because I didn't have the balls to say to her, I don't want to date you. So I jumped out my window and ran into my car and drove away so Mike and Cody could say, yeah, Jay's not here. He doesn't really want to date you.
You're always jumping out of windows to escape women. It's just like a theme with your life. How many times has that happened to you? I know of at least twice. Okay.
2 times.
Twice is too many.
Well, the second time was to avoid an awkward situation and to spare her pain. The
So it was
first
the
time.
first time, clearly.
No, it wasn't. The first time I was inexperienced and I didn't know how to talk to her.
You literally escaped an awkward
Like I was
situation.
like, hey, your breath
to,
smells like fucking
spare her.
hamburgers, and I don't want to date you. Like
Yeah,
every time I look at you, I smell White Castle.
How is that not escaping an awkward situation to spare a female pain?
Because
It's the exact same thing.
Because the thing about the second one, though, okay.
Hey, once it's an accident, twice it's a habit, buddy.
No. The second one, no, it wasn't, because I didn't do it continuously. I took it on the chin. I got broke up with, and I took it on the chin. Like this one bitch came over and she said, I just don't think we're gonna work out. I'm like, okay, well.
Could you just texted me?
Yeah, dude. She came over, and she brought my pillow back. She brought my pillow back that I had taken to her apartment, and I was like, well, this is bad news. As soon as I pulled up from work, she was in the driveway. She popped her trunk, and she's like, here's your pillow back. I'm like, this is not good. I have a 6-pack of beer. I have a 6-pack of beer. I thought we were going to hang out tonight. Guess not. And she's like, well, I think we need to talk. I'm like, fuck in the bed. So I was like, all right, come on upstairs. Let's talk about it. And she sat down, and she was like, so, I like you a lot, and I think that you're really great. I'm like, okay.
Here we go.
And as I was popping the we've been dating for like 2 months. And I'm like, bitch, why are you acting like we've been married for 17 years and we have 3 kids between us? Like, I don't understand. I was like, all right, that's cool. I was like, all right, I get it. That's fine. I was like, I understand. It was a good time. Do you want to shake hands and move on? And then she was like, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, you don't even care. You don't even care that I'm doing that. I'm like, listen, I'm just interested in the 6-pack of beer. I've worked all day long. I've been working today at the pharmacy. I just want to drink this. And then she was like, so that's all you care about.
Can you go?
I was like, at the moment.
Can you go? All right.
And then it was just one of those.
Hold on. Our time thing just shifted. I want to make sure that people are still here. Like the time just went from whatever it was to 0, and the screen flashed really quick. So I fear that.
We're still on.
Are we good?
Yeah. I mean, we're still recording.
That is super weird what just happened. Okay, sorry, continue.
So anyway, yeah, that was pretty much that was all I was really thinking in my head. She was mad that I didn't fight for her, even though she had literally come to my house to break up with me in person, which is great. I appreciate that. But I mean, you couldn't have wasted my time. You could have texted me, you could have called me and be like, hey, I think we should see other people. Okay. But I just got off work. I texted her and said, I'm gonna get some beer. Do you want to come over and drink some and hang out? Whatever. She was down with that, but she had these ulterior motives, which I fucking didn't like. And then at the end of the day, all I was thinking in my head was like, I just want to drink these fucking beers and go to sleep. I don't care. Okay. You weren't even that good of a fuck. So can we go away now? And then she was like, hopefully you'll find someone better. And hopefully you'll get some help for your issues. I was like, because I don't like your face right now. And I'm trying to drink this beer. I don't know what you're talking about.
I would like to continue my evening.
It was really weird. Dude, like I got off work at 9. I'd worked a 12-hour shift. I was fucking tired. It was 9:30 or 9:45. I had the next day off. I was like, I just want you to go home. If you're going to waste my time, go home. I'll play some fucking video games and jack my meat later after I'm drunk. I don't need you here. Okay. I got it under control.
I've only been dumped in person one time in my whole life. And that was actually one of the most serious relationships I've ever had.
Oh, that one, yeah.
In my life. We were living together. And it was the worst day ever because I was working at this fucking factory. By the way, I had to move in with her like 2 hours away. And I'm working at this fucking factory, Panasonic, 3rd shift. Fucking hated it. It's the worst. It
hold on,
like 20 pounds.
P. Rich says you guys are glitching. Are we still glitching?
I think we were earlier because that's what happened with the little oopsie there. Anyways, so yeah, get off of a long night shift. Hated my life at the time. Everything sucked. Was working 3rd shift at a factory. Get off work. Drive my Jeep home, which is the only car I'd ever had to that point. Love that car. It gives out for like the final time. And I had to walk like fucking however long it was. I forgot like how many miles it was, whatever. I had to walk home, got home, 3rd shift, sat there, laid down on the couch, had a pillow on my face. And I was like, she gets home and I was like, fucking car broke down. I don't know how I'm going to pay to fix it. We're broke as shit. This sucks. And she's like, well, I think your day's about to get worse. And I was
oh my God, that's the worst time to break up.
I was like, yeah,
I
know,
that's a
right?
Dawson's Creek interview or a Dawson's Creek
Clearly,
episode.
she had it with my shit. And this was the day it was going to happen no matter what happened to me. My dog could have died. But yeah, she's like, day's about to get worse. I'm like, what? And she's like, I want to break up. And I was like,
What?
why?
Yeah.
Why?
You got very like, what are you talking about? Like, we've got like tickets to go to the new Rose opera.
I just bought some fucking Funyuns. Like, I got a new family bag
We're
of
gonna
Funyuns.
share them. They're the new hot spicy kind.
I just bought corn dogs. Why would you do this? But yeah, I was like, why? She's like, I just don't love you anymore. And I was like, I'm not going to ask any more questions because it's going to frustrate me. So what I did was I fucking got up and I was like, I grabbed a bunch of shit, the important shit. I grabbed like a case of clothes. I grabbed my guitar, my shitty like $20 acoustic guitar. I throw them in the back of my Jeep, which, by the way, wasn't working. We had to get it towed there after I'd walked.
You were gonna Flintstone drive.
I skipped that whole. Yeah, there was a whole other thing. The Jeep was there. I forgot how it happened because I had to walk home. But the Jeep was. I don't know if it was towed to us. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyways, the Jeep was there. So I throw all my shit in the back of the Jeep and I get in the car, and I'm like, and she's like, crying. I'm not crying.
Isn't it funny how they start crying?
There was tears later. I think at that moment, even though that like that whole breakup like really fucked me up for like a whole year afterwards,
Yeah.
right? Really badly. At that moment, I was just like, at least I don't have to go to work tonight. I gotta go back to Winchester.
That's true, yeah.
At least I don't gotta go to this fucking job tonight. I was in denial basically. So I was like, cool, calm, collect. I threw my shit in the back of the car, get in the car, she's crying. I get in the car, I drive home. I get like 5 miles up the road. The fucking Jeep breaks down again. Dies on the side of the
You
fucking
really were
road.
in a Dawson's Creek episode.
It was, dude. And it was fucking hot as shit outside. It was like 95 degrees outside. I pulled into this fucking gas station, sat there, had to call my mom to come get me. My mom comes up to get me, and I'm just sitting in the back of my own Jeep, fucking sweating balls, smelling like ass, strumming my own guitar. My mom gets there like an hour and a half later, picks me up. You know what happens on the way home? To wrap up the first hour of our show, this is the perfect way to wrap it up. You know what happens on the way home with my mom in the car after I'm dumped by my girlfriend in 2 years and I'm homeless?
You take a dump.
No, my mom shit her pants.
Well, I was close. There was shit involved.
Long one-way road, no other stops other than the gas station I was at. This is like an hour and a half trip. My mom's like, "Oh God, I gotta go."
And then you gotta be like, it's now it's all representation of your life at that point. Just the smell of poop.
My mom shits her pants. We're both laughing about it. I'm like laughing and crying at the same time. The car stinks. There's nowhere to stop. I have to smell my own mom's shit for an entire hour on the fucking way home. And that was one of the worst days of my life. Let's catch up to these super chats.
Well, you know what? You know what it is the weirdest thing is I wish that I had been there because, and I know if Rockstar had been out and you had left, and then if she'd like, Jay, you can stay if you want. But like, first off, I'm a talent person, okay? And in this fucking business, you go where the fucking talent is, and all the fucking talent that was in this room just left.
Exactly.
And, if this is my mic stand, and I'm taking it.
David Engel III says, I feel your pain, guys. I always wanted to talk to you guys, and then unfortunately, after our beer chug, I had to go. I just couldn't leave the Zoom. Plus, I was tipsy. Sorry again. David, and for those of you who don't know, I won't dispel it for you. It happened in the Patreon stream, and this is what we always say. What happens in the Patreon streams stays in the Patreon streams.
It's like Las Vegas, but skankier.
David had an all-time minted moment that will never be forgotten, even though as much as he would want it to, in the annals of,
dude,
we watched the movie history on this.
Let me tell you something.
You don't need to apologize, buddy.
I'm already in the middle of like, I'm putting your name and I'm etching it in stone. Okay. Like awesome. in the bricks of the world, it will be put with the Egyptian pyramids. Okay. Because it is that much of a legend. You will always be forever known as a myth.
Yeah. Yeah. David, no apologies necessary, man. I just respect I respect the fucking.
I thought it was great.
The commitment to go through with what you went through with. I'll
tell you what. When I saw him doing, like what happened, I was like, man. I don't even know how God blessed you with balls this big because I wish that I was around for courage in my heart like that. But again, it was one of those dude moments. It was a dude thing. It's like, hey, we're all dudes and we're hanging out. We're having a great time. We're drinking some brewskis, bro. We're watching the game, and I'm gonna do this thing and leave the door open, and we're all still gonna continue to talk and joke. Like that's how you grow and bond. Let me tell you something. If all of us guys got into a big giant fight at B-Dubs, that's how the evening would end up.
Yeah.
Somebody would be doing that. We'd all be laughing and making jokes, and we'd be best friends afterwards. I loved
Exactly.
it, man. I thought it was great.
Yeah, no apologies necessary, my friend. That was a great night. Jason Dyer says, since it's a slow night, have Jay tell a story where he went to this, where he went super soaker in that chick's eye. Jay the liquid silk shooter. LOL, love your faces. Jason, I feel like that was a Patreon stream when you told that story. I don't know if that's age appropriate. No. I don't know if it's age appropriate. For the
well, I mean, we've been talking about shit and all sorts of stuff all night.
That's true.
Well, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of it. I was dating this girl one time, and she was, I like we were having some sex ones, and she said, "Oh, I'm not on anything." I'm like, "What?" And I mean, it was like I was going, so I was like, "All right." She's like, "Just pull out." So I did. And I Hawkeyed that shit straight into her eyeball. Okay. This thing was like literally like perfect bullseye. I pulled out and I don't have any control over it. I popped my finger off the top of the tip like it was a Pringles bottle, and it went, and I saw it in slow motion go right into her eyeball. And she was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my fucking life.
This was an accident, by the way.
It was an accident. I didn't mean to do it. I just was trying to, a guy, like I was trying to do like a hot porn thing where I like was trying to flex my muscle and get it on her boobies. I was like, ooh, and I couldn't do it because when I opened it up, it went like straight up like Shooter McGavin, and it went straight in her eye. And so I started laughing because I thought she was gonna find it funny, and she's like, "You think this is fucking funny?" I'm like, no. I was like, "I'm sorry." I was fucking terrified and embarrassed at this point, but I still felt like the giggle inside my heart. And she ran to the bathroom and slammed the door. And I was sitting there, I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that ever happened." Because listen, that was the money shot of all money shots. And I wasn't even getting paid for it. It was a total accident. And she came back out of the bathroom and she's like, I can't believe her eyes all fucking red and nasty. It looks like the Terminator when he picks his eyeball out and it's just the red part. And she's like, "I can't believe you thought that was funny." I was like, "Well," I was like, it was an awkward moment that happened in time. What am I supposed to do? Except like, what am I going to cry with you? Like, it was an accident. I can't help where it goes. Okay. I didn't mean to do it.
Uncomfortable thinking about it. Just so
dude, it was uncomfortable. It's like, but you look, if you're asking, it's not like, it's not like I've got like, mind control telekinesis over where it goes. If you're just going to pop the cork and just let it, let time happen. Because it was right there. I mean, it didn't.
Wrong place at the wrong time, Chachka.
That's what it was her fault. She stood in front of the bus. Hey, listen, get off the tracks with the trains coming.
That's right. Okay? Exactly. Major League 2. Yeah, you get off the tracks with the trains coming through. Sean Arredondo says, number 1, sup glow sticks. It's Sean Tubby 123. Number 2, any advice for my summer going into college. Number 3, any funny teen summer stories. Number 4, love y'all and thank y'all. Well, I think that this super chat was from earlier. We've definitely already gave you some number 3.
A lot of it.
As far as number 2 goes, the best advice I can give you as someone who went to college for a solid 6 to 7 weeks is, before I met said girl who dumped me and left me in the car with my mom shitting her pants, is this: do not be afraid to make friends. Okay? You go out there and you make some goddamn friends. You put yourself out there. You embarrass yourself. The beautiful thing about embarrassing yourself in college is that you will never, ever see those people again. It's not like in high school where, I made an ass of myself, and the next day I'm going to be in homeroom and everyone's going to be talking about it. Put yourself out there, make as many friends as you can, make yourself uncomfortable, and just try to enjoy it and do the best that you can, rather than living in that high school mentality where you really have to watch what you're doing. Let your fucking freak flag fly, dude. It's college. Get out there. You get out there and you find that goddamn dog. That's the best advice I can give you.
I got a bachelor's degree, motherfucker. I went 4 years deep in that shit. I'm gonna tell you the number 1 advice.
You did computer school. It doesn't count.
No, I literally did college. I got a degree.
On the net.
Midway College, bitch. Represent. Eagles, bitch. I got my bachelor's degree. The thing is, and this is number 1 advice: the partying and shit like that, you could go do that. Don't take W's in your class. It'll be real easy. That's where I fucked up, because the first thing that happens when you get out of high school and in the first couple years while I was there, it's so easy just to drop your fucking classes and take a withdrawal.
That's true.
A W, because you don't have to go to class, or you don't think you have to do the material. Motherfucker, go to class and do what they're asking you to do, because you're gonna owe that money back, and you got to get and also pick a degree that actually makes sense. I got psychology. I got a bachelor's degree in psychology. I could literally take my degree and wipe my ass with it when my toilet paper runs out, because it's not worth a goddamn. It's not really worth the the paper it's printed on in a lot of instances. If you're going to get a psychology degree, go get a master's and then get like a minor in something. And then on top of that, maybe even switch to psychiatry, because then you can prescribe medication. Also on top of that, the main thing is don't come to class drunk or hungover, because a lot of your professors are going to know that. They're going to spot your dumb shit ass sitting in the row, bloodshot eyes. They're going to fucking have words with you after class.
Actually, they won't give a fuck. They'll just fail you.
No, dude, they give a fuck.
In college, dude, you walk in these gigantic auditoriums, you don't even speak to the professor half the time. Trust me, they don't even fucking give a shit.
I know, but they'll
write
really,
you the fuck off.
No, they won't. That's my point. That you're already going to get a bad taste in their mouth, but they will confront you, because they'll tell you people are here to learn, and if you're not, you're a distraction. Drop the class.
Yeah, I guess
that's actually been said. That was said to me, because I did come to class like that a few times. Well, not I wasn't drunk. I was just like sleep deprived.
I didn't know you went in person. I thought you did your whole thing online.
No, dude. For the first 3 years was straight in person. I went to the LCC campus on main campus. I also Chelsea.
That was a smaller. That was like that was like in classrooms though. Yeah, they definitely do that.
That was community college, and then I went.
I'm talking about the huge auditorium ones.
Well, then I went to Midway, which was also I went there too. That was a university as well. I had to go there for the first 6 months.
Either way,
online.
Point is, it's probably not good to go to class hungover.
Just go to class. Don't take the W's, and get your shit done. I mean, you can have a good time and party, but just don't fuck up.
Yeah, and again, also, it's a lot of people. College is the first time where you get to make your own decisions. Is what, and like it's easy to be like, well, I could just go to this party or go do this or go do that. I think it's best to shoot, because like it doesn't matter what grade you get. There was no after college where they're like, you better have this GPA to get a job here. It's just like you better have a fucking degree.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us are going, I just need that C+, just need to get that degree, move on. I think it's best to aim for the fucking A+. That way when you get a C+, you're like, well, I'm still fucking good. You know what I mean?
The worst thing is if you take a W on the actual classes that you need to graduate. That's if you take one on an elective, it doesn't mean shit, because you can always pick up another elective. Do not take a W on something that's required the first year of college, which is biology 101. All that goddamn garbage, college algebra, which is all stupid that they make you take this stuff. Yeah. But just go ahead and do it and don't drop. If you don't drop, because dude, I'll tell you what, one of the worst fucking things I had to do when I transferred to Midway, where I got my degree, they went through and they were like, okay, so you have a couple of W's and then these I's, which are incompletes. Because I just didn't go, and then I withdrew, and I had to retake those fucking classes, which cost more money.
Yeah,
it's just the thing is, when you're coming out of college or high school, like Mike said, there's a lot of freedom and a lot of things that you can, like, dude. One time I fell asleep in my fucking car and I missed my whole day. Like I was I picked Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 to 1. Literally, I fell asleep till 2 o'clock. I got there at 7:30. I was sleeping in my car till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I almost got kicked out of college my second week there, because I met a girl at a football game who had a nose piercing, and I thought she was cool. And she came up to my room, and then a bunch of people were up there partying. And then the fucking RA told on us and said we had alcohol in our room. So then, like, when they're on their way up there, we went and took all of the alcohol and like threw it out the window and put it out the window, closed it. We're like, well, that was fucking record time. Guy knocks on the door, comes inside. Literally between the bedpost and the wall, there was one goddamn Coors Light bottle, and he sniffed it out and found it. And it was like, I want all of your IDs. You're all going to be on academic suspension. And I like lost my mind. I was like, what the fuck you talking about? It's one goddamn beer can. You don't know what we just did before you came in here. We did some great shit. You should give us a fucking break. And they're like, hey, buddy, that's 2 suspension whatever things for you. And I was like, fuck. Just don't do what I do, which is go to college for 6 weeks, go to a concert, meet a girl, and then never go back again. Because
and then they fucked you for the money you owed for when you left.
You have to pay for that shit.
You do.
What my dumbass did was my parents had put so much money on a card for like food and stuff like that. And when I was done there, I wasn't going to go anymore. I just took that food, and they're like, well, you can't have it back. It's on the card already, so you have to spend it. I went to the local little college grocer at EKU, Eastern Kentucky University, and just went in there and bought like $300 worth of Mellow Yellow. I put that shit in the back of my Jeep. $300 worth of goddamn Mellow Yellow and like Mr. Pibb, because they only had those products. Fucking combos and shit like that. Showed back up home and was like, hey, I failed college, but I brought groceries. That was pretty much what happened. So don't do that. Okay? Don't do that.
I would I did 4 years And the fact is, it does get better once you start realizing. But the problem is once you realize too late, and you're already like $30,000 in fucking student debt.
It's expensive. Yeah.
That's where I was, and I'm like, all right, well, your bachelor's degree costs you about 36,000 grand. Cool beans. And that you got to pay that back at some point. But the point also is the fact that I did not want to do the live on campus shit. I was offered. I didn't want to do that shit.
Smart choice, my friend.
I know. I was like, I'm just gonna go home and live off mother's milk, and I don't have to fucking do that. And then that's what I did. If I had like that's what I always ask is like if Mike and I had been roomies at EKU, I don't know, we might have died. Like it might not have been one of those like, oh yeah, I just dropped out. It might have been like we literally are in body bags. I don't know what kind of fucking parties would have happened.
I could have done better. I could have done a lot better.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing. Like I said, just go in and if you're gonna go to college, and like I said, college is for everybody. It doesn't mean anything if you don't go. You can always make your own way. But if you do go, I mean, if I were you, if I could go back in time, first off, I'd change my fucking degree. I'd do like engineering or something. And two, commit to it. Commit to it. If you're gonna go, commit to it.
But I will say this: there's a lot of awkward moments living an on-campus life. It sounds like I had a crazy party-fueled time, and I did. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you're there's a lot of awkward. Like, I don't know anybody here. This is weird. I feel out of place. If I could go back and do it again and stay the whole 4 years, I definitely would have done more things. I would have done intramural basketball. I would have joined clubs. Do all that shit, and be nice to people and put yourself out there. That's the best advice I can give you. But also, that's underneath all the whole, make sure, obviously, you get your fucking degree that you're paying way too much fucking money for, because they're ruining you. They're ruining you for that degree. You might as well fucking take that shit home at the end of the day. Vinny C says, Jay was yelling, Klatu Brato Nicto, as he ran.
That's probably what I was trying to bring up the spirits of the evil dead as I was running it, but I forgot the words. I was actually trying to put them back in the Book of the Dead. It was like, nickel. Shit. Yeah, you're probably exactly right, Vinny. Like I was probably reading, the Book of the Dead Latin.
Berto075 says, the gods request the revenge of the action movies. I would love to do that again. Problem was nobody watched it, so it fucked up our whole they just take so much time to do. But there's always going to be action movies on the channel.
Well, we're doing it now. I mean, we still do action movie reviews. I mean, I think we even did a commentary.
Yeah, I love
for an action movie or something. But we did like doing it a lot. But you can't justify the means of putting the time or work into it if you get 50 people be like, hey, this is pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
What kind of panties do you guys wear?
But we'll always interject the action into there, man. Marco Viva Latour says she wasn't lying when she said your day was about to get worse, Mike. No doubt about that, my friend. She was telling the truth on that one, at least that one. Sean Davis says, Tiny Whitey's at 16. What the fuck? That's what happens when toilet water touches your cheeks. How did you ever pop your cherry?
I was lucky and I paid her. Let's just get a basic building blocks here. And actually, as a matter of fact, Sean, it doesn't matter if it's dark. If they're tiny whities, they can't see them. I mean, it's not like I had glow in the dark G.I. Joe underwear. I mean, that was for my special occasions. I didn't wear those out.
By the way, Jay had a girl really trying hard to bang him at that point. I remember that. That was a conversation.
That would have been considered, technically speaking, if that had gone down, RAPE, because I was not available mentally. Like, I was not.
Yeah, she was
like, I just like, my shit was a floppy sandworm that she kept on trying to get into her situation. I'm like, this ain't happening.
Speaking of floppy sandworm, let's take a real quick break.
Yeah,
guys.
I gotta go pee in the yeah.
When we come back, we are going to talk about how Ed and Lorraine Warren are probably full of shit in honor of The Conjuring coming up. But we'll be back first.
Bye, Bison.
Oh, that's the wrong button. Fuck me. Hey, there we go. Whoa.
Are we on? Don't nod your head like you know shit, you dumbass. Don't! No! Shock collar for you? Like it? Do you want it? You won't touch my finger. Anyway, we're back for an unboxing. Don't you touch Asian tape. Shit. Got the new I wish to God that you would strike death as hard so you would fucking be deceased. Anyway, we're back for an unboxing here at the shitty channel called We Watched a Movie, where two overweight assholes named Mike and Jay continue ranting about Halloween and that franchise. Losers? Yes. Assholes? Absolutely. Are they gonna be good? No. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna get into this unboxing. Some of you sycophants have sent some packages for Michael and I to read and talk about and make fun of you with. Michael has been learning Hooked on Phonics lately, but he still has a small wiener. Stop! Okay. You don't touch hair. Anyway, this is for Michael. It should say Michelle, bitch. There. And for Loomis. Yep. Try to read. No, what does it say? Say it! Say it! Oh, son of... I hope you die. Okay, this is what it says. It says, do I wish you a happy Halloween? Why would you? I'm sending this before Halloween, so if you get it after, then I hope you and your family had a spooktacular Halloween. Who the hell sent this? Blue's Clues? Anyway, stupid Michael. I think it's really cool that you let your daughter watch scary movies and allow her to express herself. First off, you're mentioning a Madonna song, and you're also saying that he has a daughter. He doesn't. Okay? According to the movies, he raped his niece. You did. That's according to it was a goddamn documentary almost. He doesn't have a daughter. Why you hit me with the phone, Dick? What an excellent day for an exorcism. Let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose. Wise up to what men want, Rachel. They're coming to get you, Barbara. I mean, this just sounds like, did you have a bad experience in the bed? Anyway, thank you for... thank you for your content and musical talents. You talking about this asshole? Whoa. I didn't mean to laugh like that. This is from Loomis, or for Loomis. It just says, just a card. Howdy. If that's all it is, I'm gonna throw it away and put it in my incinerator. No shit. Wishing you a Halloween that's frighteningly fun. Oh, you did have a note, so I take that back. I hope you have or had a happy or a haunting Halloween. It's always haunting when I have to answer stupid shit like this. Thank you, Dr. Loomis, for your wisdom. Thank you, Slenderman, for your continuous promotion of Subway. Although I am more of a Jersey Mike's kind of gal. Of course you do. You like everything Michael. I heard your sex talks in that last card. And thank you, Jay, for always making me laugh. You too, Mike. First off, you, again, those two overweight assholes, you can talk to them by yourself. They have live streams every Friday night and Wednesday nights, okay? Shut up. She says, cookie woman. You haven't got a police force? Subway sandwich. I don't know who says that. Who is that? We have been drugged 6 times. And happy haunting memory when the night is done. Well, what a waste of time that was. Did someone clock it? I think it was 2 minutes of shit. Thank you so much. Okay, ready for the next package? Let's get into it. This is from Mike White Jr. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, you break it, you buy it, you dumb shit. Yeah, you fix that. Goddamn look like powder. Looking at the sun. Let me have this. No, that's not for you. First off, it's from Michael White Jr. I've heard about you. He's apparently the Willie Nelson of mushrooms. Because he takes them a lot. You acidic shit. You're gonna turn into the Toxic Avenger if you don't put them drugs away. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, he said like some kind of picture, painting, I don't know what this is. We get this out, goddamn, whose birthday is it? I don't care. Was it Rambo? He said, Stu J, happy birthday. I can't find my fucking legs. I can't find any common sense of why you would send this to me. Michael, this is Rambo. You say he has a red bandana on. What are you doing? Yeah, to the other asshole of We Watched the Movie, not me. I don't want to open up mail for that prick. Thank you for nothing. You goddamn hippie-loving, mushroom-sucking, acidic bitch. Thank you, Michael White. Here, Michael, open this up. Go to town. There you go. Rip it up. It's like your parents wanted to rip up your adoption papers. I'm sure. You might have been born, really. I don't know. Ah, yes. Another Italian-American hero. The Italian Stallion. You know, his wife didn't believe in him. That's why he had to play No Easy Way Out. I'm sure that's what he did. Jesus Christ, you look like John Binder from Breakfast Club. Good stuff. He's flipping you off, you see? Michael White? Don't touch. You don't even know who that is. You just look like, you know what you're asking yourself, Michael, when you see this? You say, does he have a dog that I can eat? Yeah, well, you know, it's true. Okay, so we're moving on. Thanks so much, Michael White Jr. First off, if that was Dr. Chalice, he's late as shit and he's fired. Thank you so much, Michael White Jr. I hope that your next high takes you to a job. Thank you. Okay. So now we got a big ass box. And, holy shit. That's my dick, Michael, you dumb asshole. I will cut your shit up.
Don't, dude. It's fucking good.
We're back. Hi.
Holy shit, Cycles. Did you see us sit down at the same time? We didn't even plan that shit. That was like a well choreographed thing.
I didn't see you sit down.
You didn't see me sit down?
No, did we sit down at the same time?
Yeah, it was literally like like the exact same time you were walking over to my chair, I was walking to mine. It was like a choreographed dance.
God,
we should be on Cats season 4.
Todd Fair says, Mike, please say again how BVS will one day be a masterpiece. Please, it's so funny.
That guy is right. That guy is literally
obsessed.
Like torching your nuts.
It's obsessed. He's obsessed. But yeah, you know, every single day we get closer to it. You know, people accept BVS more than they did before. So jokes on you, Todd the Rod. Jokes on you, buddy. But anyways, the one thing that we had to talk about tonight, of all the things we've talked about college, we've talked about drinking stories, we've talked about iGoop, we've talked about everything. But the one thing that we really came here to talk about was, have you been saved by... No, what we came to talk about was The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, while in South Central.
I'm looking forward to it.
Drinking my juice in the hood. I am sort of looking forward to it. I read the reviews for it, and the reviews for The Conjuring 3 are it's positive, but they're like, the only thing that's good about it is the romance between Ed and Lorraine, between Patrick and Vera, which I love those two actors.
They already kind of did that. That kind of shitty because they already did that in the second one.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what I thought too. Like I want the movie to be scary. I want it to be a good horror movie.
Yeah, that's the weird. You know, the weirdest thing about I don't know, like if you're gonna go see a movie like that, like the last thing I really give two shits in the wind about, or if the relationships are good. Like, I could give a fuck less. I just want to watch the horror unfold, or whatever, or the story. That's all. The actual story of the paranormal, not the fucking like, were you lovers that loved each other in Christ? Like, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, we'll talk more about the Conjuring universe and how we feel about it on Friday. By the way, the stream Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be in person doing the entire stream. It's going to be a whole new setup. Guys, be there for it. Please show up for it, because we're going to try to do something really cool. And if it works out and there's a bunch of people there, we'll continue to do it that way. I think it's going to be awesome. But on Friday, one of the things we're going to do after we watch The Conjuring is we're going to rank the entire Conjuring universe. My overall feelings about the Conjuring universe is that I think it's one of the most overrated franchises ever. But I know that most people.
I heard someone say that about my wiener once. I dismissed it.
This wiener is an overrated franchise.
I unfriended them on Facebook.
No doubt about it. But with The Conjuring coming out, you guys have heard me say when we've talked about The Conjuring and Ed and Lorraine Warren that they're full of shit, they're complete liars, all this stuff like that before, and people are like, what are you talking about? I thought it'd be fun to talk about this article that I pulled up from 2017. Ed and Lorraine Warren are obviously Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmigna's characters are based off them, and they do a great job about it. Nothing against them whatsoever. But the actual people, because of these movies, they get a lot of praise and they get a lot of hero-dom thrown their way. And that is not... If you see their relationship in the movies, they're also lovey-dovey and it's like this great romance. Not the way it worked out in real life, guys. This article I'm going to read to you from is from 2017. And it says, War Over the Conjuring, the disturbing claims behind $1 billion franchise. Now, the first part of what we're going to talk about is just about their relationship, and then we'll go into whether or not they were complete frauds as to how the other stuff goes. But just reading select parts from this article, here's one here. It appears that top studio executives were made aware just weeks after the first film opened in 2013 of allegations that in early 1960s, Ed Warren initiated a relationship with an underage girl with Lorraine's knowledge. Now, in her 70s, Judith Pinney has said in a sworn declaration that she lived in the Warrens' house as Ed's lover for 4 decades. It goes on to say, materials obtained by the Hollywood Reporter suggest that in real life, the Warrens' relationship was far from divine. Among them is a sworn declaration from Penny, who maintained that Ed, with his wife's knowledge, initiated an amorous relationship with her when she was only 15 years old. It goes on to say Ed Warren was in his mid-30s when he allegedly met 15-year-old Penny. Having not yet gained enough fame as a self-trained demonologist to pay the bills in the early 1960s, Ed was working as a city bus driver in Monroe, a 30-year-old bus driver, picking up a 15-year-old girl. Penny was a student at Central High School in the nearby town of Bridgeport who rode his bus. The two began an amorous relationship, Penny said in a legal declaration she gave in November 2014. By 1963, she had moved into the Warrens' home. For the next 40 years, she said she had a sexual relationship with Ed, with Lorraine's knowledge. At first, Penny stayed in a bedroom directly opposite the one occupied by the married couple, but eventually she moved into an apartment built for her above the home. One night he'd sleep downstairs, she said in a recording. One night he'd sleep upstairs. Even in 1963, a teenage girl did not move in with a married man without attracting notice. That year, Penny was arrested after someone reported her relationship with Ed to local police. Kind of weird how the 15-year-old having sex with the 30-year-old is the one to get arrested, but, neither here nor there. According to her November 2014 declaration, she spent a night in the North End prison in Bridgeport while police tried to persuade her to sign a statement admitting to the affair. After Penny refused to cooperate, she was ordered by the court to report to a delinquent youth office for the next month. According to Penny's account, Ed picked her up from school every week and drove her to the mandated meetings. That's just part one of that.
Yep. I gotta say, I read the entire article, and I also went ahead and read another article, actually displaying and talking about this particular case. The thing about this girl, Penny, she's in her 70s now, by the way. Mm-hmm. She remained friendly with Ed, whom she claimed this occurred with, until 2003. He died in 2006. She remained friendly with him. She married. She did all this stuff. The weird thing is, and this is where, and again, I don't know if what she's saying is true, and I don't know if Ed and Lorraine were in on this. I have no idea. All I know is it's kind of strange, the timing. And what I mean by that is the timing in which she came out and made these claims was also behind a lawsuit between two guys that felt they were owed money. And she also, which the article does go on to explain, being represented by this Tony Grund asshole, this bitter executive producer, claimed that this was all true. However, if they gave her $150,000, she would shut the fuck up and not say a word about this affair that occurred with Ed. Now, that's where it's strange to me, because if you were molested and raped, or not raped, but molested and made to be a victim for this many years, the last thing on your mind is going to be that's a very specific $150,000, on top of the fact that it was attached to a $900 million lawsuit by this guy named Brittle that claimed that all the accounts of The Conjuring were fake. I don't know, but and I will go on to say the fact that it was a really strange the timing of when the article was written in 2017. Also, the timing, if you look at when these emails, first off, Brittle sent an email. This Tony Grund guy sent an email around 2015, 2016. This is when the Weinstein thing happened. This is when the Bill Cosby thing was happening. This is when the Kevin Spacey thing was happening. The Me Too movement had started. It was just strange that this powerful evidence that was claimed that these lawyers were saying that they were going to reveal
this stuff
never occurred.
These statements from her, though, and that's the confusion here, is that yes, these guys who were trying to sue, because the reason they're trying to sue The Conjuring and Warner Brothers is because they felt like their story got ripped off. Like they felt like they had the rights to the Warren story. They had an agreement with the Warrens that if they ever made a movie, because they did the book about them, they did all this stuff about them. If they ever made a movie, they would get the residuals from it.
Yeah.
What the Warrens did, they did a backdoor deal with Warner Brothers and said, no, fuck you guys. We're going to do it with them anyways. And then these guys tried to sue, right?
Well, no, actually, but Brittle said when he found out with Warner Brother executives, he said specifically, well, I deserve a cut from the movie. And they said, well, you can't own a monopoly on a true story. Then he went back and fictionalized it all and said, no, it never happened. So I just made all this up. Now I'm owed money. So he was trying to double dick the fucking back door.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Those guys are doing what they're doing. But they may have brought it to light, right? They brought it to light, the whole thing about Penny, because they wanted their money for their thing. That's a whole nother issue, right? Because they wrote a book, they had a backdoor deal with them, and then they screwed them over. That's a whole nother issue, why these guys are bringing it to light. But Penny's statements are from a court deposition from 2014. So what she's saying was before any of the money stuff came into play. That's why, to me, that there's no question about. I mean, like, I don't know, I say there's no question, but it's far less suspect. What these guys are doing, you could go, oh, maybe you just want money, maybe there's something going on there. But what this girl's saying about what the actual Ed Warren did seems a lot more believable, considering that.
I would almost agree with it, except for the fact that she was being represented by a guy that's literally called. They actually did settle in December of 2017 based on another article out of court. The thing is, the judge himself, by the way, the guy that was representing her, the lawyer, is going to owe up to $1 million to New Line because he fucking lied. He was puppeteering. He was using these other people as a way of getting a lawsuit against New Line and Warner Brothers, which he had been banned from doing in 2015 when he signed an affidavit stating he would never again sue New Line Cinema for this ever again. I don't know. It's strange to me. Like everybody else that's coming out, though, they're saying, they're not saying, by the way, I'm going to shut up about this if you pay me $150,000. Well, and after he's dead,
that's what I'm saying.
Kind of weird.
What I'm saying, though, is she herself, they brought it forward. Yes, they are the reason that what she said got brought forward. But what she said was from a 2014 deposition. When they brought it up to her, she refused to have anything to do with it. Yeah. All this stuff that Penny is saying came from 2014. And there's a bunch of people that corroborated it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff behind that. So whether or not it got brought to light because people wanted money. Yes, absolutely. But she said it to a court way before that happened. So that's a different story altogether.
But she didn't act on it until after he was dead.
She never acted on it at all.
I know, but she also was saying that. But the person that was saying this to the court in the emails, first off, they never fucking actually did any litigation. They sent an email to the New Line and Warner Brother executives, and that's what they did. If these fuckers had evidence, they wouldn't have said on it. This was like strong arm muscling them. It's like, hey, we got evidence, bro, but if you settle out of court with us and give her $150K, she'll be quiet.
All that's fine and dandy. But the point is, just because these guys, my point isn't like whether or not these guys did it to make money. My point is that before that litigation happened, this deposition was recorded. So
yeah, it was.
So basically what you've got is someone, regardless of the money or the movie or anything like that, saying that a 15-year-old girl was brought in and to live with the Warrens to have sex with a 30-year-old man.
But also, according to the daughter of Ed and Lorraine Warren, that never happened. So also what you have now is you have word versus word. And the only corroborating evidence that I saw in the article that it mentioned was when they were talking about one particular case that she was as a liaison for Ed and Lorraine Warren when they weren't in the house.
Right, which was a story they gave her to tell. She had the guy's baby, though. Like, she had the guy's baby.
But that she aborted.
Yes. So, and that's the second part of the story.
That's true.
That's
Again,
the second
we don't
part
know.
Of the story. In May 1978, in her 30s, Penny became pregnant with Ed's child. She has said in the declaration, she said Lorraine persuaded her to have an abortion because the birth of a child could become public and any scandal could ruin the Warrens' business. Though Lorraine has claimed to be a devout Catholic, Penny said her real God is money. In a tearful recording obtained by THR, Penny recalled, "They wanted me to tell everyone that someone came to my apartment and raped me, and I wouldn't do that. I was so scared, I didn't know what to do, but I had an abortion. The night they picked me up from the hospital after having it, they went out and lectured and left me alone. It goes on to say, Penny has also claimed Ed was sometimes abusive to Lorraine. Early on, she said she witnessed him backhand his wife so hard she lost consciousness. Sometimes Ed would actually have to slap her across the face to shut her up, Penny said in one recording. Some nights I thought they were going to kill each other. But Lorraine seems to have been intent on preventing any sort of aspects of her story from being portrayed on screen. Now, this is weird as well. Lorraine went out of her way in her deal with New Line to serve as consultant on the model for The Conjuring, includes unusual restrictions. The films couldn't show her or her husband engaging in crimes, including sex with minors, child pornography, prostitution, or sexual assault. Neither the husband nor wife could be depicted as participating in extramarital sexual relations. That was in the laws of the movie for them to be able to use her portrayal.
But according to the manager in the same article, that they had always had requests that were a little bit weird. And you also could point out to the fact that they were supposedly devout Roman Catholic and they didn't want to see. I mean, there's also one lawyer that later on goes on, be like, nobody wants to see assholes in their fucking film as protagonists. They just wanted to make sure that you're going to cheer for these people.
That points more to their side of it, though. He's saying, yeah, of course we didn't add that in the movie. And my argument's not about whether or not they should have added in the movie. Of course they shouldn't have added it in the fucking movie. That would be insane. Nobody could root for people who are doing shit like that. And again, I'm not shitting on Vera Farmiga or Patrick Wilson or even the movie.
No, they're just actors doing
the entire movie thing. What I'm saying is about Ed and Lorraine Warren themselves, just to add some light on what's going on here, where they're being painted as this amazing romantic story, all this stuff like that. And one of the emails from these guys, they say Ed was a pedophile, sexual predator, and physically abusive husband. Lorraine enabled Ed to do this. She knowingly allowed this illegal relationship to continue for 40 years, and they lied to the public. And they went on to compare him with Jerry Sandusky, to compare him with Bill Cosby and all that. Now that stuff comes from
I feel like, but
the lawsuit.
If you read the email and the way that they're talking, they literally are trying to fucking strong arm them for money. I mean, it's obvious that they're trying to say, and here's the thing.
Not Penny, though. The people who brought it to light.
It doesn't. Penny also, the thing is, they talked about this Tony guy that was a puppeteer that was using other people to get what he thought was owed to him. And the fact is, he's going to owe $1 million for almost what they're basically saying. You fucking falsified bullshit to get your point across. Here's the other thing. You don't think, here's the main thing I'm thinking about, while this was going down, Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema, you got Weinstein, you got fucking Bill Cosby, you got Kevin Spacey.
This was all a little before all that shit, man. The original Conjuring movie was a little bit before all that shit.
That was 20, okay. The actual dates, though, where allegations for Weinstein was happening on October 2017. Victor Salva, 2017.
Victor Salva's not. That's a closed case. The guy got convicted of pedophilia.
Bill Cosby, 2015.
And this was 2006. This was 2014.
My point being, it just seems circumstantial that all of a sudden this fucker knows that all this shit's happening in the media and then uses this stuff as a way to strong. Here, if you have the evidence, first off, you're not going to represent the
hold on. Why are you so sure that this didn't happen?
Because I feel like the fact. Well, why are you so sure it did happen?
I'm reading from a woman's deposition, a 15-year-old girl who was lived with her raised for 15 years in 2014 before any of this shit happened.
And if you also read another deposition where this same fucker told them that he was going to stop suing them in 2015. Strangely, it happens 1 year after this supposed
and once again, I'm not saying that these people who are suing for the Conjuring rights. I'm talking about the lives of Ed and Lorraine Warren,
which
they took this deposition of this woman Penny before the film happened.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with that.
But you have to look at the evidence also presented. The fact that she never said a word till after he dies. Okay. Then she gets in touch with this one particular producer that's bitter.
Okay.
And the author that's bitter. And then all of a sudden these claims are coming out. And then all this shit happened. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to say it didn't happen because I don't know. I wasn't there.
Speaking about, and again, I'm talking about the fact that they are not this wonderful, romantic, amazing couple.
No, I mean
that all this shit happened.
Really is.
because I'm not just talking about this. I'm not only talking about this. I'm also talking about all the cases that they've done. The infield poltergeist, okay? The Amityville story. The all the stuff that they have been countlessly, once again, over and over and over again, been called fraud on, okay? So here T. Goslin says, I'm with Jay on this, and where's the evidence? Innocent until proven guilty. The deposition is given after the guy's dead.
Well,
innocent
here's
until
my
proven.
point.
Hang on, dude. Innocent until proven guilty. When you're talking about a 15-year-old girl that's moved into a 30-year-old couple's house and multiple people, she was arrested. This is before any of their fame, before any of that stuff. The 15-year-old girl was arrested.
That she's claiming afterwards.
Who cares the fuck is she's claiming?
Because she wants $150K.
She never fucking said that in this. Those guys brought her into it. Yes,
Okay,
they used her for their lawsuit.
She linked
yes,
her name to it.
But if a 15-year-old girl was brought into a relationship with a 30-year-old man and his wife approved of it, it's fucked up and it's disgusting. I don't give a fuck. It's disgusting.
If he was fucking molesting her, yes.
If you're having sex with a 15-year-old, you are molesting her.
Obviously, my point being is also Ed and Lorraine claimed that they weren't doing that. So it's basically,
of course they fucking did, dude.
You got like her word versus his.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. The deposition was given after the guy was dead. Yes, because the fucking issue came up after they were dead. That's why it came up. It was after they were dead because all this money and all this stuff was going on. Tell me why the 15-year-old girl, if there was nothing to this, why was a 15-year-old girl arrested for having sex with a 30-year-old because she wouldn't admit to it?
Well, here's the thing. Where's the fucking evidence? Where is the evidence?
How is that? The 15-year-old girl said the guy did it. It's not evidence.
But the girl is being represented by a guy that says give her $150,000 and she'll shut the fuck up.
Do you want film of it? Do you want to watch it happening? You believe in fucking ghosts? We're talking about ghosts here. You believe that happened.
But you're literally telling me.
But you won't believe a 15-year-old girl saying that she was literally sleeping with a 30-year-old man.
You're literally telling me that you would shut the fuck up if $150K was given to your ass if you were fucking molested and raped.
No, I fucking wouldn't.
But in that lawsuit, in that email, that was happening.
But the fact of the matter is, if I'm a 15-year-old girl, okay, and society is way fucking different back then, okay, and I was duped into this relationship, and all this stuff happened, and my life's been fucked up from it, 30 years down the line, when the world's changed, they go, hey, do you want anything from this guy? I go, yeah, fucking give me everything you can get from that motherfucker.
$150,000 to shut up.
If a 30-year-old man slept with a 15-year-old girl, he should give her his fucking life. Fuck
okay, so why didn't she sue? Why didn't that happen?
Why didn't what happen?
Why didn't she sue him for more? Why didn't she go to a newspaper and not have a fucking lawyer or an executive producer represent her and send emails to the executives at Warner Brothers and New Line? Why didn't she go to court? Why didn't she contact Newsweek?
She literally asked.
She took a deposition.
She backed out of it. The deposition was before the money was even involved.
My point being though, if every other victim that's coming forward, though, are they not? They're not asking for money to shut up. Are they asking for money to shut up? If that's literally in the email if she would sign an NDA with Warner Brothers. And by the way, here's the thing. Warner Brothers and New Lines, they're not fucking stupid. They have lawyers too. And they also understood the fact is that if you're looking at the case, which they investigated, there was no grounds.
So what you're saying is
they
basically
would have dropped him like a hot biscuit if he was actually fucking guilty.
If someone asked for anything for what they went through, it means they're lying. So just because the lawsuit involved $150,000 going to her because apparently she was fucking
that's what it costs though to shut up about it.
15 years of her life.
That's what it costs though. $150,000.
She must be lying. Why are we even talking about it?
Because why is there a monetary value attached to it?
Shouldn't exist.
Maybe you should just fucking do it because it's right.
She should just shut the fuck up and go on with her life.
Well, she was going to shut the fuck up with a $150,000 price tag.
Let them paint this guy as a fucking hero.
She would have too with $150,000.
So moving on, because obviously this is going fucking nowhere because everybody that says somebody did anything to him is fucking lying if they ask for anything. Moving on from that,
that's actually not true at all.
Moving on from that, what about this, Jay? What about this? Following Edward, this is a different story. This is just talking about all the haunting shit. What about this? Following Ed Warren's death in 2006, people began to recant their original testimonies, not about that, but about the hauntings. Families stepped forward to claim Ed had even paid them to lie, while investigations into several of the Warrens' cases, such as the infield poltergeist, by the way, the entire fucking point.
Show me the receipts.
Again.
I mean, this is here. He's dead. He can't, like, literally, like the guy said, you can't defend yourself if you're fucking dead.
Time out. Okay? So what you're saying is that we should believe Ed and Lorraine stories about the Enfield poltergeist and the Amityville horror and all this stuff and all their stories that they were paid fucking handsomely well for, by the way. I don't know if like they were paid a lot of money for these fucking Conjuring movies. A lot. They were brought on as consultants so they can make it seem more real. So them getting paid for stories about hauntings and ghosts and all this crazy psychic medium shit they did is okay with you. But if someone, a 15-year-old girl, is statutorily raped for 15 years and she asked for money for that, that's not okay?
Prove it. That's the point.
Okay, Jay, prove the ghosts. Prove the ghosts. That's
the
my point exactly.
By the way,
if she has to prove she was raped, they don't have to prove
decline the article,
exists.
You're not.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about? In the article, it literally says the lawyer specifically said when it says based on a true story, take it with the biggest grain of salt going in. It's not supposed to represent the actual fucking thing that happened. That's the point. People are going to pay for a horror movie. They're not going to go pay and watch a cup move 3 centimeters off a desk because that might have what actually happened.
And who gives a fuck if you want to make a horror movie? Make a horror movie. Make a horror movie.
You're trying to conflate two different things.
Okay, Jay, what you're saying is literally prove it when it comes to statutory rape. But Ed and Lorraine were totally telling the truth about ghosts.
So you're telling me that if somebody off the fucking street came up after you're dead said, Mike raped me when I was 15, and you had no proof, that's okay with you. You're just automatically guilty in the fucking grave.
No,
right?
nobody said that. Nobody said you were guilty.
My point is, I said prove it. You gotta have evidence.
My point is, the story I just read to you, Jay, the story I just read, that these people, that Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren went into their houses and apparently had these crazy experiences, and then they made movies about them, and then they made all this money about them. People are now saying they never fucking happened. They were lies, and Ed even fucking paid us to lie.
After he was dead.
Listen to me. Ed even paid us to lie and say that they happened. Okay? What I'm saying is that, what does that say? Just take that at face value for just 1 second. What does that say?
I would say that.
Wait. What does that say? Ed and Lorraine Warren, if you believe that, if you take that at face value, lied about these stories of hauntings, of ghosts, of all these crazy things. It said that they were fucking frauds and they were fucking liars.
There was also people that said people that saw UFOs were fucking frauds and fucking liars. And Tom DeLonge comes out and proves it differently. So I mean, what about the UFO people?
But what you're saying is maybe they were telling the truth, right? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying maybe they're telling the truth?
No, what I'm saying is that it's possible that what you saw representing on a fucking movie screen, a cinematic movie screen, represented by New Line and Warner Bros.
No. I'm not talking about the movies.
Let me finish my fucking thought.
No, you're going off somewhere else. I'm not.
I'm actually on topic.
Of course, the movies are fake. I'm talking about the history of Ed and Lorraine Warren. I'm talking about their stories that the Enfield poltergeist, that the Amityville poltergeist were real, and they saw some crazy shit. If you take that at face value and you say, I don't need proof, they're not lying. But then a girl says she was raped, and you go, I need proof. I need proof.
You're shoveling words in my mouth. I never said that. What I said was the fact that it was spruced up for Hollywood. Obviously, you want to sell the fucking movie.
That. Yes,
100%. I'm not saying that everything that they witnessed or saw was 100% accurate, because I wasn't there and I'm not fucking them. I don't know. What they witnessed or experienced could have been true for them. My point being specifically was that it was obviously, when it says based on a true story, anybody with a fucking lick of common sense are not going to sit in the theater and be like, well, it's all fake. It's all fake.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm also not talking about the Conjuring movies. I'm talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren and what they said in real life happened. I'm not talking about the movies.
You're talking about their claims for the paranormal.
Yes.
That all this happened. And then people come out after Ed dies and says they were paid money to shut the fuck up. And now all of a sudden they're going to piss on his grave.
No, I'm saying
for attention.
I'm saying that that's not the only piece of evidence that they were full of shit about the ghostly paranormal shit they witnessed.
I will give you 100% that I think, and again, I don't know, because again, it's hard to say, because if people have different experiences. By the way, me and Mike aren't really fighting. We're fine.
No, we talk like this all the time.
No, we talk like this all the time. We're fine. It's
a heated discussion.
We just get hot. We're fine though. We don't hate each other or anything like that. What I would say is that I will give you that the Amityville specific, the Amityville. The one thing that I walked away with, and I'm a believer, Mike's a skeptic, but this is why this is fun. The strange thing about that particular case for me was the fact that they had numerous parapsychologists and paranormal researchers in that house afterwards, what the Lutzes had claimed. And it was strange that when Ed and Lorraine Warren came in, they were the only people that captured a strange phenomenon, which was an apparition of a little boy on a banister with glowing eyes. And according to them, they took it to an actual professional photographer. He verified the photo, that it had not been doctored. The thing is, I just think it's strange that everybody that's living in that house afterwards has never claimed any kind of paranormal activity.
Right.
The Lutzes did. Now, do I think that the Lorraines the Warrens were they interested in money? I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they were. I mean, I'm sure they wanted to make $1. And I just think the Lutzes. But again, because I know people have had experiences, and I don't want to discount their experiences. Like, it's just like anybody. If I didn't believe in UFOs, which I totally do, but if I didn't believe in abductions, which I totally believe in that too, I don't want to tell anybody like, oh yeah, you're full of shit because it's not factual or it's not logical. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, yes, there are things about their stories that don't add up. And I'm not like a drink the Kool-Aid Jim Jones guy that's going to believe every fucking thing they say. But anyway, I wanted to take a calm time out there because we're not mad
and then,
at each other. We're just having fun.
Yeah, and this is separate from that. So we said our piece about the penny thing. You feel about that how you want to. My whole point about even bringing that up is that the fact that it's wild that these movies, they base these movies, especially this one, everybody's saying, oh my God, the only good thing about this is the beautiful relationship between Ed and Lorraine.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, clearly there was not. You know,
what I would further with that, if it was based on any kind of real relationship, I mean, God knows, if it was based on any of my relationships or Mike's relationships, I've never hit a girl. I've never done that. I've never done it. But I mean, nobody wants to watch an actual real relationship because it's usually ups and downs, and there's not going to be happy. If they're going to try to make like a Cinderella fucking Prince Charming story, fuck it, I don't care. I go and see a Conjuring movie because I want to watch something that with a good tight story, that's got a lot of horror in it. Right. I don't give a shit about if Ed and I agree with you. I think that you shouldn't even identify on their fucking relationship at all. Just move it the fuck out.
Well, yeah, and I'm not mad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad that the Conjuring universe has decided to base their entire movies on this wonderful relationship between these two people. You look at any movie about anybody that's a true person in the world, and it's going to be 97% full of shit. You know what I mean? Some of the greatest movies about some of the greatest people. Unless
you're doing like a drama movie based around the relationship.
Yeah, I don't give a shit that the Conjuring movies decided to do that. What interests me, and I've always found interesting, is how just if you look a little bit deeper into anything about the actual people, the Warrens, you find a lot of bullshit that smells really dark.
And it goes back to George and Kathy Lutz. And I don't want to say anything negative against them. I mean, because Kathy Lutz was dying of lung cancer, and she claimed whatever they saw was real while she was dying of cancer. I would have said personally, if it were me and I was dying of fucking cancer and it didn't matter anymore, and George and her had already divorced, I would have thrown the motherfucker in the bus and said, yeah, we made it all up to get some money. But she never did. I don't know. But they also flip-flopped a lot. The thing is, and I guess what the reality of it is we don't know. I mean, and people do have experiences, and they have like whatever experience they have personally, we don't know. We just have what they say. But if it comes out they're full of shit, and look, I'll be the first person I will literally eat the tongue off my shoe if Ed and Lorraine Warren come out as the biggest crocs of shit that's ever existed in the world. I will eat my fucking tongue up. I'll eat my shoe.
Well, what I wanted to talk about going forward, as far as the cases go, like, were they full of shit? Were they not full of shit? Let's forget all the marriage stuff and forget all that stuff. That was just an interesting article. The Shape in the Shadow says, "Hey, Mike and Jay, I love you guys. Please stop fighting. Mommy and Daddy aren't fighting. We're just having a discussion."
No, dude. Like, we've actually fought before.
Crossfires. Yeah. No, trust me, that's not us.
No, that wasn't that. Like, what you guys got was like mom and dad. Like, who's gonna take the kids to the fucking school today?
Don't worry, I promise. I don't want to bring the mood down. We're not fighting.
No, we're not. We're having fun, man. Honestly, if we added a third in here, like if Cody, like, we've had 3-way fucking fights.
Yeah, this is just how we discuss.
Well, I mean, we say fights. We're just having disagreements, man. Like, you guys. The thing is, if you look at it like that's cool though. Like you can have disagreements. Like this is where I wish our politicians understood. You can have disagreements and actually agree on something and then like move on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like I just wish Facebook was like that or something.
Mercurio80 said, I think we're witnessing the end of Wham.
That's hilarious.
Next time I recommend you buy American. No,
yeah, I really want now I think we should just start staging fights so we can get more of you all in here.
Anthony Stamps, thanks, buddy. I appreciate the super chat. He says, sorry I turned off the stream for a bit. Arguments like that are triggering for me, but I do think we shouldn't just take her word for it. But at the same time, we shouldn't just assume she's lying either. And
that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying.
I think that's the exact place to land. Jay and I both agree with you on that.
Yeah, that we were like, we don't know. I mean, that's the, you know, but
I think sometimes you get turned off. Like you get turned on, like if something smells true to you and then someone immediately goes, nah, it's not fucking true. You get into it. That's where you fucking go. But ultimately you land in the middle. We don't know. We don't know.
And the thing is, like, me and Mike don't always agree. And, like, obviously, what kind of boring ass channel would it be if we just agreed on every single fucking thing that came up? I mean, that would be boring. And somebody was like, I was about to cry. Dude, we're good. I promise to God, don't cry. Okay. I got a tissue box for you. We're good. I promise. Me and Mike would literally have this conversation in his garage if we were filming in person and then smoke a cigarette and be like, hey, dude, do you want to go pee in the bushes? Like, yeah, I mean, like, it's like that. It's not, there's no serious vibe going on here. It's just a debate, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I honestly agree with Jay in a lot of these situations too, where like sometimes you read something and you go, "Oh, there's a lot wrong with that." Like, why are we all just jumping to the conclusions that all this that's being said is true, especially when there's financial motive? I understand where you're coming from completely, but I also think that we shouldn't just write everybody off just because we live in a time of Me Too. So, but we land.
I think what we provide is we provide both sides of the coin, which is what you want, right? In any debate, that's what you want to have. And it's just like Mike and I were staunch defenders of Ray Fisher, and then we read that article, and
Paige says Jay wins fatality. Like, wins what?
We're not. There's no winner here. But the thing is, we're debating. We're adults. We're having.
We literally agree to disagree.
Yeah, and that's all we are. We digress. It was a good time. And by the way, but when I went to the Ray Fisher specifically, Mike and I went in staunchly defending Ray Fisher in a lot of ways. And then when you start reading more and more articles about him and about what kind of the personality that he has, and then based on other evidence that people coming forward and talking about Ray Fisher, you're like, yeah, you know what? I don't know if you're just if I know that bad things happen to you, but it also feels like you're really fucking bitter.
Yeah,
and that's the difference. I mean, and you can, but anyway, dude, we're all good. We're happy.
But okay, so moving on, talking about some of the other stuff we're going to talk about as far as Ed and Lorraine Warren go. Okay, a lot of the stuff that they did, the Enfield Poltergeist, right? The Amityville, all this stuff.
Which I didn't know the Enfield. I didn't know what that is. Is there a movie on that?
The Enfield was Conjuring 2. That's what the whole Conjuring 2 is based off of. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, there's just a bunch. There's a lot of smoke when it comes to these two. As far as whether it's people coming out and saying that they paid them to tell their stories or whatever. The entire Amityville thing alone, you could look at and be like, that weird.
would be a really interesting topic to cover, because George and Kathy Lutz, and not only that, just their son. Remember, we watched that documentary about their son talking about.
Yes,
and he was Nutbull City. Rest in peace. I think he died recently.
And he was, by the way, he came out and said it was all true at the end of that documentary.
But then he double backed.
Yeah, and he was a kid when it all happened. So if his parents are laying this all out there, and here's where this all ties in, okay? When you talk about Amityville, which is what the new Conjuring movie is about, right? It's about Amityville. When you talk about Amityville, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Holy shit, I forgot all about that, yeah.
So, like, after Amityville happened, what happened is, and the way, this is just me, the way I see the Warrens is people who capitalized and ran in to really capitalize real quick on other people's misfortunes. What they did with Amityville was, after it happened, and after not the DeFeos, but after the story with the Lutzes came out, immediately they ran in there, and Lorraine Warren came in and said, I want to have all my medium friends here. We want to go in the house now that the family's out of it. And that's where she said that was the closest to hell she's ever been. And she never wants to go back again. And my whole point about bringing this up is that if you look at the story of what the Lutzes said, and you look at the lawyer who came in there and had a couple bottles of wine with them, and they all decided, according to this lawyer, he went in there with the Lutzes and they all decided, hey, we want to recoup our losses on the house. There's this DeFeo story. Let's make up a lie that the house is haunted and let's become famous. And that's what they did. And this lawyer came in and said, we had a couple bottles of wine and we all made up the story together. The guy who wrote the story said almost just as much. He told someone, he's like, hey, I like money. Okay. I like money. I'm going to be living on an island wearing cashmere sweaters while you're still going to be writing these fucking stories. There is so much smoke that the entire Lutz Amityville story is bullshit. And if that story is bullshit, then you have to look at what the Warrens did when they swooped in afterwards and said, this is the craziest house in history. If the Lutz's story is bullshit, then the Lorraines are 100% top to bottom full of shit. Well, that's the way I see it.
I look at it like, I think that case, the Amityville case is I don't know, man. It's a weird one. I mean, there's been so many people that come out and corroborate that it's fake. And there's also been people that come out and say it's real.
Right.
And they are the same people that they knew them, that they say, oh, they faked it. And the same people that say they knew them say it was real. I don't know. The Conjuring 1, based on, their testimony about what happened in that house. The thing I will say is that well before the movie was made, like 25 fucking years in the early 90s, mid 90s, I watched this YouTube. It was a podcast. It was a re-upload of a podcast. One of the surviving sisters of that house talks about it in 1995, 1996, well before the movie was made ever, and says it was all real. She was talking about the possession. She was talking about the strange occurrences. She was talking about the evil in that house, and that the Warrens came in and they cleared it. I don't know. And again,
which by the way was like a calm seance. It wasn't like the crazy exorcism.
Well, I mean, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that video, but it's on YouTube. If you guys want to look up surviving Hodgson's sister, I don't remember, or not surviving. One of the sisters has an interview on YouTube, and this was in the 90s. It's a good interview. It's not bad. And she cries. I mean, whatever she saw in that house and whatever she experienced was traumatic for her and emotional. So, like I said, I think it comes down to personal experience. Like what you experience may not be exactly what another person experiences. I mean, some people say they see angels and some people say they don't see anything.
And again, like when I talk about the Warrens, I'm not talking about the people who see this shit. Oh God. Or people who see this shit or have it happen to them. I'm not saying that they're liars. I think that the Warrens, in my personal opinion, I think that the Warrens capitalized on people who were in unfortunate situations for financial gain. And I think it's gross. Well, that's just how I feel.
Yeah, and I get you. The thing is, they never took any money from any investigations, but they did take room and board, and they took travel expenses.
And they made a fuck ton of money.
Well,
they
made
money.
They made money. They made money off selling their stories. Absolutely.
And they started a museum, by the way.
Well, it also got shut down because of zoning.
But they still charged for it, and they did start one.
They did, and then they were like, "You can't do this. I mean, if you guys are going to do this." The thing is, I know for a fact that I'm not taking the Annabelle fucking doll home. I don't want that shit in my house. I don't fucking know. I'm not fucking whatever is going on in that museum. Trust me, I'm not fucking with it. I don't know if it's real or not.
I sleep with it at night.
I swear to God, I would give you $50.
I would do it.
If I could steal the Annabelle doll for a week.
Bring me that fucking doll. I'll sleep with it tonight. I swear to God, dude. I will.
I will, because I mean that's like, because I get freaked out if someone sends us like pieces of a cemetery, because I mean that's some voodoo shit. But no, I mean look, at the end of the day, you can believe what you want. This was just a really fun debate.
Yeah.
I'm a staunch believer in the paranormal. Mike's not. But I also believe in UFOs. Mike believes in UFOs. It's a weird. That's true. It's a weird situation. I just feel like at the end of the day, sometimes we just don't know what goes on. We can't measure it, and you can't see it. I mean, and no matter what, the reality is we're stupid humans, and we're floating around the dark, trying not to fucking kill each other, looking for a light switch.
Absolutely,
so we have no idea.
But I also think that Ed and Lorraine Warren are also stupid humans, just like the rest of us, and they pretended to be something they weren't. That's just my opinion now. But one more thing I want to read to you guys that I want to talk about real fast is this literally comes from Wikipedia, so it's not some earth-shattering evidence or whatever. But as far as all these things go, according to a 1997 interview with Connecticut Post, Steve Novello and Perry DeAngelis investigated the Warrens for the New England Skeptical Society, which obviously they're already skeptics. You know, you get that. I get it. They said they found the couple to be pleasant people, but their claims of demon and ghost to be at best as tellers of meaningless ghost stories and at worst dangerous frauds. They took the $13 tour. Well, there you go. As far as monetary gain, they took the $13 tour and looked at all the evidence from the Warrens had of spirits and ghosts. They watched the videos. They looked at the evidence the Warrens had. Their conclusion is it's all blarney. They found common errors with flash photography and nothing evil in the artifacts the Warrens had collected. They have a ton of fish stories about evidence that got away. They're not doing good scientific investigation. They have a predetermined conclusion which they adhere to literally and religiously. Lorraine Warren said the problem with Perry and Steve is they don't base anything on a god. It takes work to do solid critical thinking to actually employ your intellectual facilities and come to a conclusion that actually reflects reality. That's what scientists do every day, and that's what skeptics advocate. And this leads me to one more problem I have with the Warrens both, is that in all the years after the Lutzes lived in Amityville, there's not been a single goddamn thing that has happened in that house, and the different families that live there.
Like I said, I think the Amityville is the flashpoint for a lot of things. I mean, again, the Amityville horror, and you know, it is known fact that Ed and Lorraine Warren were consultants on the 1979 film and the 2005 film, and they did make some residuals off of that. I mean, obviously, why wouldn't they? Yeah. But you know, the owners that have lived there since, I mean, one of the owners went so far as to change the bay windows because they were tired of people coming and trying to snap pictures with it. Yep. They never claimed any paranormal. Now, as far as the other cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren have been involved with, I don't know, man. I believe them as far as that was my watch. That wasn't my microwave. My hot pockets aren't ready yet.
I mean, if they're gonna lie about one case, I feel like I don't believe them about any of them.
Well, I believe, you know? I don't know. I believe they witnessed something. I think that they had some experiences. I do. I don't trust these fuckers that come from the woodwork after one of them's dead and start making claims. I will say this. If I were in the position of Ed and Lorraine Warren and I had experienced these real things, like if that had actually fucking happened, okay, as a human being, would I not try to make money off of it? Fuck yes. I would 100% make money off of it. I would sell the rights to a big giant studio like New Line and Warner Brothers and make as many fucking dollar bills as I could. Why the fuck not? If I can make a money off of it, I'll make a money off of it, like an Italiano.
I'm not trying to go back to the same argument we were having before, okay? But I do got to point out the fact, dude, that if you're okay with them doing that, but you're not okay with someone with the penny situation making money off what happened there. I mean, I
think that's more of a moral, that's morality. That's different. It's not economic, it's ethical. I don't think I'm going to make money. If I were molested by a priest, I'm not going to sell my story to fucking USA Today for $150,000 to tell my actual story. Or if I got raped by Bill Clinton and that actually occurred and that was going on for years, I'm not going to say, okay, yeah, I'll not talk about it if you give me this amount of money.
I think that if they're going to go out of their way. So for instance, one of the families that lived in the house after Amityville, right? They lived in the house after Amityville, and they said nothing ever happened. And this is kind of what I was getting to before. And all the families that have lived in the Amityville house since have all claimed nothing happened. You know what fucking Ed Lorraine told them? He said, that's because you don't believe enough in God.
Well, you know, the weird thing about
that to me, that is disgusting.
I think that
you can't experience it because you don't have faith. So that's why you're not haunted. It's like that's disgusting. All right, he's using an entire religion so he can make fucking money.
Well, there's two things about Ed Lorraine. One thing which I didn't agree with, and I don't know why anybody didn't call this out early on, especially which I think Brittle is a liar. I think he's a straight fucking liar. I think he's a guy that got mad because he wasn't getting the money, and he went back and said
whatever. Sure.
Went back and said it was fake because he didn't, you know, he was trying to put Warner Brothers in a position.
Yeah, those guys have money.
But I will say, Ed Lorraine, the fact that I don't like talking about, you know, he's dead, so he can never. I'm not saying he'd ever watch our videos anyway, but even if this was ever, you know, in a bigger setting, given to him as an argument. He could never defend himself.
No.
But I will say it's kind of fucking shitty that you self-described yourself and declared yourself a demonologist. Now, that is true. Ed Lorraine or
And
Ed Warren. I'm sorry, I keep on saying Lorraine.
And
Ed
Lorraine
Warren,
prescribed herself as a medium.
yeah, Ed Warren did go out of his way. He said he had a paranormal experience when he was younger, and then later on in life, he self-described himself as a demonologist. Later on in life, the Roman Catholic Church did recognize him as a demonologist. That did happen, but he didn't go to. I don't even know if you can go to school for that. I don't know, but there was no like specific cases.
Right.
I don't know how that fucking shit works. But you just said I'm a demonologist, and then his wife said I'm a clairvoyant. I can fucking know the cards before they turn over.
Yeah,
that's
so they
weird.
can say shit and it exists, but somebody else says
like,
shit.
You know, I want to be a grasshopper sometimes, and I want to jump around the yard.
That's my point.
But
That's
weird.
There's a famous paranormal investigator that was like, seriously, I don't recommend anybody jumping into the world of paranormal investigation until you've got appropriate training. I am a professional. Yeah. I'm a professional. I've already made it. I don't recommend anybody because it can be dangerous. I have a degree. And it's like, where, bitch?
The thing about it is, at the end of the day, I think I would put my full trust in and, you know, this is just my opinion. I would put my full trust in someone like the real priests of The Exorcist, the guys that actually were there and they saw what they saw. They didn't make money off of it. They were literally, they were just priests, and they happened to see this paranormal event of this boy getting possessed, and you know, they had to go through channels to even talk about it through the churchhood. I usually throw my stock behind people like that more often than not, because those people aren't trying to make a dollar. They're not trying to sell their story. They're staying in their lane, I guess.
Yeah.
If you look at the priests, the real priests behind The Exorcist, I'm not talking about the movie versions, and the little boy that supposedly, like, that all that shit happened, or even the case of Emily Rose. They didn't sell their story. They didn't make a dollar off of it. They were inside the church. This shit.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, they literally made a movie, so I'm sure she made some money.
No, they did, but they didn't make them. They didn't sell their story. The people that the parents or the family might have. But those guys, like the priest on The Exorcist, like, one of them fucking died. Like, I don't know. Yeah. All I'm saying is, like, and again, I'm not that guy that says, oh shit, well, if you dare in this world, this capitalist society in America, try to make a dollar bill, fuck you, you're lying. I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Like, the guy made money. I feel like it happened, but he made money off of it.
Right.
So,
well, and that's exactly what I'm saying with some of this stuff. But, and then also, you know, just one more thing. There's a family named the Cromarties, and they lived in Amityville after the Lutzes, and they were the ones being accosted by people constantly coming by, taking pictures, constantly doing this shit, knocking on the door. She at middle of the night, somebody came and tap danced on our lawn playing a fucking spagool or whatever the fuck.
Was she hot?
I don't know. She literally sued the publisher of the Amityville horror book, and the Lutzes, trying to force them to admit that their story was unreal and made up with no evidence whatsoever. The suit settled. For an undisclosed 6-figure sum in 1982. So basically, that's another thing. This woman went to the Lutzes. She said, prove what you fucking said. I live here in this house. Nothing's happening. And what you all said is ruining my life. Okay, either prove it or do something, or I'm going to sue you. And they paid her 6 figures to shut up. They paid her 6 figures to shut up. So it's almost the same thing as
the Lutzes do their whole fucking thing. Like, I mean, you can go back to the fact that George borrowed money that he didn't have, and the fact that they were going to be like forced out of their home,
and there was mob ties.
There was a lot. Well, that goes back. Well, that goes back to DeFeo. Like, here's the thing about the DeFeo
that was
murders.
the DeFeo. Yeah, you know, you're right.
Yeah, the DeFeo murders, I almost feel like it was a mob hit.
Could have been.
And like, I swear on my hand on the Bible, if it's paranormal, okay, but if you owe money to a mob boss, and a lot of the rumors were that the dad of the DeFeo was involved with the Italian mob.
Yeah. There was a
And-
DEA agent watching the house the night it happened.
And you don't think that they could get a couple 6-7 guys with silencers to go into the fucking house and shoot them all at now? It was timed real well, but they're silencers. So if you're laying in the bed next to your brother and he just got popped in the back of the head with a silencer, you're probably not going to wake up.
Yeah.
And then it's boom, 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 boom all the way through the house.
And don't get me wrong. Whatever happened, I think DeFeo did it. I mean, I think he had something to do
Ronald
with
was,
it.
I think he was
that
involved.
guy was fucking I
think he's the fucking guy that let him in.
Yeah, that may have been it too. They may have got to him and then told him, whatever happened there. But no, ultimately, and this is all I'm saying, like, and honest to God, this is the last thing I'll say about it, I swear to Christ. But just over and over and over again, like Ed and Lorraine Warren, and it's not, I mean, enjoy the fucking movie. I'm going to enjoy the movie. If the movie's scary, I don't give a fuck how nice they're portrayed. I don't care. It's Hollywood. It's what they do. You know what I'm saying? The whole point of this was, hey, sometimes when in my experience, with everything I've learned about them, when I say it to someone just random in the street, I'm like, oh, they're full of shit, right? They're a piece of shit. They're like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Everybody loves them. Ed and Lorraine Warren are the greatest.
Well, that's because of Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, and because the movies and stuff, and that's fine. That's whatever. Who gives a shit? And the big scope of things, who gives a shit? But I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be fun.
I had a good time
to go back and be like, hey, let's actually look at these human beings as they were.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad that I'm glad we had opposite opinions, because that's where the fun and magic happens. If you have the same opinion, I mean, I'm glad if we had agreed, that's one thing, but it's cool to have opposite opinions. But I will say, once Corn Pone Flick says maybe the fact that you were drunk and had something to do with it. That's also another thing. Ronald DeFeo was high as fuck. He was drunk and high as fuck.
All sorts of shit.
And he was hearing.
Thought he was talking about
listen,
us.
I've been so drunk before.
Like,
I've heard fucking. I've heard goddamn I've heard fucking people playing like, I don't know, how bizarre, and there's no music going on, and like, you know what I think it was? I feel like it was a guilty conscience, because I feel like you could even, like, I can make up shit. Maybe he left the fucking front door unlocked so these Italian dudes or this mob could come in and fucking do the murder, and he was just gonna sit, and he's like. And they're like, hey, yo, bro, you ain't going to get in trouble at all, because here's what's going to happen. You're just going to sit in there and say you were drunk, and then nothing happens to you. Even though I know that the guy went to his deathbed claiming that he heard voices and shit, but he was fucking high.
Yeah, he flip-flopped all the time, too. Like, if you listen to the depositions, he said some crazy shit happened in there. Who the fuck
It's really hard to...
I don't believe
it's really hard to take a guy that literally admits that he tripped acid and he was drunk. Yeah, and like everything that happened, according to him, was it's weird, man.
But I'll enjoy. I don't believe a goddamn lick of it. I don't believe a sentence of it. But at the same time, I'll enjoy the movies just like everybody else does. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the movies. That's what they're there for. They're there to spook you out, freak you out. JD says, "Love you, sexy boys." Had a chance to interview one of the Perron kids. Unfortunately, they've made up a lot of stuff. Have a great night. And I think
Who's
that's
that?
It's somebody that had to do with one of these crazy events that the Warrens
is it that Paranormal State? Those guys were fake as fuck. Like those guys were trying to get a check. I don't know if that's what she means. Remember that show on there was the Paranormal Kids or whatever, like the psychic kids. They were cashing in on this left and right back in the day.
And Mr. Movie Buff said, and I saw a bunch of people when you and I were talking about it, where's the arrest records? Where's the abortion records? By the way, guys, I don't know if you know this, but like the Hollywood Reporter doesn't really post arrest records and abortion records on sites. Like, just because something doesn't exist on the internet doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just to throw that out there real quick. But he said, I looked and there are no arrest records for Penny. I'm glad that you got a filing cabinet in your fucking living room that has all that shit, or just the Google search that you did, buddy. But at the same time, just because we're talking about the 1960s, okay? I'm not saying that what she said is 100% goddamn true, but just because you couldn't find the arrest records for it in 10 seconds doesn't mean she's a lying bitch out there for money. That's all I'm saying.
I think he was just talking about like the records, as far as he's concerned, is it doesn't exist. But either way,
but that's my point. Just because you're concerned it doesn't exist in a 5-second fucking look doesn't mean that girl didn't go through fucking hell and torture for 15 years. Come on.
But there is I mean, Jesus. if it was filed with the sheriff's department, it's filed. But my point being is like, no, anywhere. Like you could find it. Like
it's been 5 minutes. He couldn't find it.
But I mean, my point being is it's public access.
Records for O.J. Simpson in 12 seconds. I promise. You won't. I mean, and that's O.J. Simpson. Hi, Tiny. Hey, dude, check this out. By the way, check this out. Look at the shirt. Hey, put your legs down, because I think you're wearing.
Is that the Rocketeer?
Underwear. Dude, that's the Rocketeer.
Oh my God.
That is my Rocketeer. Hey, put your shirt down.
When did she get that?
have shorts on.
You
Is
have
that-
okay, you have shorts on. We're good. I thought she
When
was
she
in
get
bed,
that?
So
That's I
Dude.
like that.
this was mine from when I went to see The Rocketeer, like one of the first movies I ever went to see.
Dude,
My
you talk
parents
about
bought me this
underrated
shirt.
action hero.
Yeah.
The Rocketeer, man. Nobody ever talks about the Rocketeer.
No, I know. Well, the movie bores me now, but like, dude, I literally, my parents bought that for me at the theater. It was like the second or first movie I went to see, and we still have it. We found it a couple years ago.
Looks good.
Say hi.
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 Now say, I'm going to bed because it's way past my bedtime. Say it. Say it.
My band-aid broke.
Oh, your Band-Aid broke? Okay. I'm going to go fix her Band-Aid.
Okay.
Gore says, keep up. I love the channel. Keep up the good work. I love
So,
you.
We can end it.
Keep up the good work. And then Mr. Movie Buff says, no, I paid and looked at the police records. Okay. So
Okay.
Mr. Movie
Well-
Buff paid and looked at the police records. So that means that girl's lying. And then, come on, man.
Let's
Hey,
get out of here.
we love your